Hello, I'm Daniel Bloodworth. We are Easy Allies, and this is the Easy Allies podcast. I am guest hosting for you this week.
Yeah, I thought we got rid of you.
Because Michael Huber is in Vegas, having a good time. I don't even know when we can talk about what he's doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think we can say what he's doing there.
But good times there. This week, I am joined by Isla Hink.
Hi.
Got Michael Damiani over there scoring a graphics card.
And now my credit card asking me, did you authorize this charge again? It's like, yep. They really don't want me to have this, but there we go. I said yes, so we'll see. Yeah, got a RTX 5880 from Newegg. We'll see if it actually ships, though.
Okay.
Just waiting for them to no, we're canceling the order. It didn't work, so good luck with that.
Dang.
Newegg's pretty reputable.
Yeah, Newegg's chill.
Definitely gotten stuff from them before.
Oh, no, they're reputable. I mean, like, sometimes places leave their things on too long and they take too many orders. No, sorry, you over-ordered.
And you're put me on a wait list, man. I'll take it a little bit later.
You can still add it to cart right now. For anyone who's in chat, Newegg's cards, they're still up. So that's why I was freaking out. Like, these didn't vanish in 2 seconds. What's going on?
And your motherboard can handle it, and you've got a direct line to a nuclear power station to power the thing.
That's the 5090, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah.
Don Casanova pushing the buttons today.
Yeah,
Beep
hopefully
boop.
Damiani's contacted Dallas Water and Power and gotten everything cleared.
They had Homer Simpson on the line.
Yeah.
Damiani, actually, I read an experiment. It was pretty great, where the scientists just put a hamster wheel outside to see what would happen. And all, these just various wild animals would just go on it and play on it just for fun. So they would get mice, they would get frogs, slugs even, getting on this hamster wheel.
That's awesome.
I see that in time lapse, a slug over like 2 hours spinning at one time. That'd be awesome.
The baseline for all living creatures is just trying to have a good time, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what people are supposed to be doing. That's what animals are supposed to be doing, just like chilling. Once your basic needs are met,
Yeah. Also chilling back there, we've got Gabby. We're going to bring her up here
Where
in a
is
little
she?
bit to talk about Hello Kitty.
Hello, Kitty, my old friend.
Yeah, we're here to talk about what's new, what's news, and what we've been playing. In addition to Hello Kitty, we're going to talk about this Xbox news and statements, getting deeper into the multi-platform side of things.
So you might say we're going to talk Xbox?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
BioWare has had a rough week.
Yeah.
We'll chat about that. I've been playing Eternal Strands, which is a cool action-adventure exploration game out this week. And I missed it last week because I was busy with all the Xbox stuff last week. But we got that December sales report. So
yeah.
you can look over that as well as the full 2024 picture. So.
Those always come when Huber's not here, I feel like.
No, usually I try to save them for Huber, but I'm already late. Then I was like, I can't push it again. Yeah. So, and then the schedules, there's all these things that impact like when Piscatella can release them. It's like, so make sure that they're consistent across year-to-year comparisons and stuff. So sometimes they just show up at weird times.
And then Damiani and I are going to talk about Unicorn Overlord for 45 minutes.
Oh, are we?
Oh, nice.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I'm just into it, dude. No, it's fine. That game's old as hell. Sick game, though. Sick game.
It's only like a year old, if that.
March, I think.
Yeah, not even.
Yeah, not even a year old.
Not even a year old.
Dead game, dude. Dead game.
So let's get into this Xbox stuff. I was not planning to talk about Xbox until this morning. They announced that Forza Horizon 5 is coming to PlayStation 5 this spring.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's going to have crossplay. It's going to have...
With crossplay?
Yeah.
Cross-platform? Wow, yeah.
Yeah. There's going to have like a lot of the DLC and all that stuff is going to be in there. I'm not sure if it's everything. I was trying to like sort that out, but I wasn't 100% sure whether everything is going to be there or if it's going to be like some stuff day one and then some stuff a little bit later.
Do you figure this restarts the clock on the like car licenses? the like license deals on the cars.
Ooh,
I think
interesting,
they've
yeah.
already kind of extended that clock because it's been a while since
That
5
game's
came
been out for a minute.
Yeah.
I was gonna say is like usually this is around the time where the story would be Forza. You can't buy it anymore. It's like,
Yeah, that's
You can't buy this game
If you
ever
see
again.
Forza in a headline, it's like being
Yeah.
delisted or some cars are
Yeah.
being taken away. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Maybe what I think they should do is they should like do like just GTA the cars that the license die in, so it's just like a generic like pretend brand of it, even though it's
Oh.
like
Sure. Yeah, it's so hard because
they're so similar, like
so well just like how
specialized. Yeah,
closely they're
copywritten-
modeled and everything that goes into that, all the sounds recorded and stuff like that.
copywritten lines of the hood of a car is probably like patented
Mm-hmm.
degrees of a swoop or whatever. Yeah.
Panic Button is working on that port. They're the same ones that did the Switch ports for like Doom and Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. One of the better port companies, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, and again, like just talk about like a premier Xbox franchise.
Yeah.
Really. Like this
This is
hugely
crazy.
selling game.
Yeah. That's
And-
like one of the like Forza Horizon 5 specifically is like one of the like if you asked me to say like what are the top 10 games that would be a reason to buy an Xbox Series X, I'd be like, well, Forza 5 for sure, like,
Yeah.
and now it's meh. It's like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like like Forza Motorsport is essentially the one that competes with Gran Turismo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Horizon is this whole other thing, literally playground games. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like getting out there and just running around the world and jumping off of things.
Is the crew like similar to it? I'm trying to think
In
of like
some ways, but the crew's physics aren't as tight.
Okay.
And it's just a way. They're like, and in particular, like the latest crew is taken a lot from the Horizon series.
Mm-hmm.
So it does feel more similar, but
I was just trying to think of like an analog.
yeah, but like you can drive the Warthog,
Right.
the Halo Warthog in Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That might be next, actually, that series.
So, yes, there are rumors about that Halo Master Chief Collection will come later this year.
Are they gonna keep all that kind of stuff in the PlayStation version? Or
Yeah.
are they gonna do like a Mortal Kombat and be like, the PlayStation version gets Kratos and
It sounds like it's all there. It sounds like
Crazy.
it's complete.
throw in an Astrobot car or something, like that'd be fun.
Yeah. But it kind of goes back to in the past week. I don't remember if it was like before we recorded last week or right after, but Phil Spencer did a couple of rounds of interviews. He did one with Gamertag Radio with Danny Pena and Paris Lilly, and he did another one with Destin Legary. And yeah, he was talking about this exact same thing. They were asking him about this multi-platform stuff. And it's like, not only is he open to bringing more games to more platforms, he is starting to make it sound like you're a bad guy if you don't do it.
He's
like
really enthusiastic about it. Yeah.
It's very funny, like the way that the tone is like, we don't want to keep our games from players wherever they might be,
That lengthy court proceedings really changed him, It's like really got into his brain.
I got a few quotes on that. Is first one, I want everybody to be able to play on Xbox, and it does mean more of our games shipping on more platforms, not just PlayStation. We love the work that we do with Nintendo. We love what we do with Valve on Steam, and that's going to continue. We'll just continue to do more of it.
Yeah.
Because what we learned is put the games first, make sure the games can be as great as they can. We love the experience on our own hardware, our own platform, but our games will show up in more and more places, no doubt.
I mean, this makes sense. And like we've been saying this, like I especially have been harping on this for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, where it's like this seems to be the future of Xbox, where it's like they're decentralizing, focusing more on the subscription model and like just getting their and especially now because they own like so many prominent developers.
Yeah, now that they have Call of Duty and
and since
Diablo
they're
and everything.
exactly, and since they're like, they've effectively been trailing in the console war for this whole generation at least. You know, like this just makes sense. Like, put it on everything. And like, yeah, their biggest profile games have to be multi-plat anyway.
Yeah.
So like, might as well just do it with all of them or most of them. Like,
Yeah.
but if they literally do it with all of them, that'll be really, it'll be interesting. Like, then I would really look forward to like, you know, like Netflix or any other subscription service. Like, can you get Game Pass on anything?
Right. Yeah. And that was when they first started talking about cloud gaming at GDC, you know, like the very early days. Like I was literally waiting for them to like say that like, oh, we've got an app on Switch now, you know, something like that.
Because that's the Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Like all of this is the loss leader to get Game Pass on everything, and like then they, you know, they win from the you know, the side exit like nobody saw coming. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, a couple more just on this point. Game Pass is an important component of playing the games on our platform, but to keep games off other platforms, that's not a path for us. That doesn't work for us.
That's not a path for us.
Oh man, take that quote back in time.
Yeah.
This is all about making sure that your library of games that you own on Xbox are playable in multiple places. So I'd say it's an evolution of our identity, but I believe it's an identity that the industry needs.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting thing that he just said. Games that you own on Xbox can be played in multiple places. Does that mean if I bought or own?
So far, not.
Okay.
So far, not. You still have to buy CSC
Buy it
separately
again.
on PlayStation.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm not like I think it's case by case basis on like which ones actually your save file carries over.
Right.
The one thing with crossplay is at least you can play with your friends that are on Xbox
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the Xbox friends list.
Yeah. Cross-play and cross-save on everything would be crazy, but cross-buy would be
Yeah,
insane.
that's the nut that you can't crack. So,
That
like,
would
the
be-
best
yeah.
you could do is put Game Pass on another.
Yeah,
thing, but-
exactly.
Yeah.
Especially because I think I got Horizon on Game Pass. It's like- yeah.
But that's something that they're working on too, right? Is making more of the games that you've bought available to play in the cloud.
Right.
Because I think right now, or at least the way it's been initially, was the Game Pass library was on the cloud,
Yeah.
but not necessarily every single Xbox published game because that's a lot of servers. To,
Yeah,
to
for
run.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have played Grounded on a phone,
Mm-hmm.
like over xCloud, and like that kind of stuff, and it was great. Worked fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Damiani, what are you thinking so far?
I mean, I think this is really good. I honestly, I think this is just going to be something that Xbox has just had to embrace because the hardware. I mean, obviously they said they're not bailing out of hardware, but they've been doubling down on this service in this direction for years now. We've seen it coming, so I think they're playing the best hand they've been dealt, honestly, and you know. This is more options for everyone is always good. So I mean, honestly, I wish Sony has been putting stuff on PC. I wish Nintendo would put stuff on other things, but considering their approach, that would like really diminish the impact of their hardware, and they rely a lot on hardware. So I don't really realistically ever seeing that happen. Like even just putting games on PC, I think would be very destructive to their business model. I mean, it'd be interesting to see they made more money in the long run overall, despite the damage it might do to their hardware business. But for Microsoft, they were put in a really unique situation with Xbox that they were afforded this opportunity to do this. And if, you know, honestly, I also see it a little bit of like potentially, you know, we'll see how things have to play, but like I was going to say future proofing because being service based, having all the software on here, still developing games and offering them in so many different places to play, you kind of detach yourself from being bound to that, like, you know, the singular platform, which is honestly, if you don't have like the strengths like Nintendo or even like Sony, but even Sony has shown that like that they're willing to put their stuff on another platform with PC. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and with Lego Horizon Adventures too, right?
They've come to other platforms. Sorry, I forgot about that one. Good catch there. And yeah, I think in the end it's going to be like Nintendo will probably be the last one trying to stand, gating off its first party exclusive experience. But it'll be interesting to see going forward. Switch 2 might be very successful, but you just know at some point they're probably going to hit like a snag. They historically always do with a hardware cycle. And will that finally be like the breaking point for Nintendo to be, we need to maybe consider putting our stuff on other platforms as well? And Microsoft already has to lead on that, and they have this whole service developed, and a lot of people, all the third parties, are already embracing it. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see. But I think I've been very I would say proven wrong with Microsoft, because I really thought they were just going to be in a lot of trouble and have to possibly bail on or just try and find a way to exit out of being in this market, and they've just they just I guess really beat my expectations by quite a bit. Easily surpassed my expectations with what they've been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, re the Nintendo thing, they're so draconian that I don't imagine they would ever something would really have to force their hand. But another thing that a nut that they cracked long ago with the handheld market and then transitioned successfully into the mindset of the Switch is that multiple people per household want their own Switch,
right.
And while that is true of some households with a PlayStation or an Xbox, way fewer ever do that kind of a thing than with Switches. You'll have families where both parents and the kids all have their own Switch, and
And
that's
the whole
crazy.
Family plan.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's and that's not something I think PlayStation or Xbox could really even try to get into, but yeah, something would really have to go wrong. They would have to Wii U the Switch 3 or something for them to start bailing on hardware, I think. But
I think it'd have to be something pretty dramatic like that again. And even then, because of how successful they've just been in general and their general good business practices when it comes to their fiduciary duties, where they keep their financials in order pretty well.
Is it true that they have a room full of gold?
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know if they have a room full of
gold. It's not gold, but just money.
Mario coins at this point.
They have cash on hand that 20 million cash on hand or something.
The war chest has always been the thing referred to with Nintendo, that they have billions in the war chest that if they really needed to get
20 million wouldn't even be anything. It would have
Wii
to be
U is
way
a
more
blip
than
on the radar for them, but I mean they also do have investors they have to answer to.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would never say never with how things have changed with business and the way things are going.
For sure.
But I do think just one bad console for Nintendo might not be enough to push them into embracing this new direction. I think they're pretty set in their ways and want to keep doing that for as long as they can.
Well, because when was the last console generation that Xbox definitively won, quote unquote?
Well,
I mean, the only thing that could really even be said is the 360, but that's still they won the U.S. market,
right? But they've never had Japan.
Won overall,
yeah. So it's I think for Xbox, this makes sense because they've just been trailing in the hardware sector basically the whole time. This just makes sense, because out of necessity, but also I do think it's kind of smart and, as you said, future-proofing.
Yeah. Now, he did address questions from them about, okay, well, if, this is what you're doing, why should anyone even buy an Xbox if you can just get the games anywhere?
Cheaper than a PC.
Yeah. And he says that they are still working with hardware. He still, checks in on those hardware teams and talks to them.
Still
on all
checks
this stuff.
in.
Yeah. But he wants the hardware to differentiate itself on its own, not by holding games hostage. So, quote, I want us to innovate and make the hardware the differentiator. We've got into this space where the differentiation on the hardware has gone down, and it's really been locked games that you've tried to make the identity of the hardware. I love when I see handhelds, when I see kind of unique things that hardware manufacturers do, and I want our hardware to compete. So let's have our platform continue to innovate with services and hardware and the hardware work that we're doing. I think that's our identity going forward, and it's working for us now.
X-Deck confirmed, dude.
Right.
I mean, there have been rumors about the handheld, but that makes so much sense if they go into that direction. Because, it is, it is sort of a good point where it's like, it hasn't really mattered between a PlayStation and an Xbox for a while.
Right.
It's just like the exclusive titles. Like they're literally like barely different.
Yeah, like again, that 360 PS3 generation, you had a lot of like weird bad ports in both
Yeah,
directions.
yeah. Well, I mean, the PS3 was such a nightmare to program for.
Yeah, it was a completely different beast. Now
Yeah.
everyone is essentially on similar architecture,
Everybody's
and
just-
everyone is releasing everything on everything.
It's just an Unreal 5 box. It's just like, basically. But yeah. I mean, I think it'd be interesting. But it is interesting, though, because they can't get, because of this model,
You can't get too weird.
they can't get too weird.
Yeah.
They can't do something so weird and out there with a hardware that you could only play it on that hardware, because then that flies in the face of this entire ethos.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is kind of strange. I think that it wouldn't be surprising. I know some people were saying that like they like literally partner with Valve or something for a Steam Deck 2. And like something like that I don't think would be out of the question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that's just alluding to what he said, is just alluding to like their handheld approach, whatever that's going to be
Yeah.
in the hopefully near future. But yeah,
What will they call it? It'll have to have the dumbest name.
Oh my
called-
gosh.
well,
Series D or some shit.
Yeah, well, it's still gonna have like probably. I hope they don't put Xbox in the title. That would be like
It'll be an
cool.
Xbox one way or another.
I mean, they'll call
Xbox
it an
Palm
Xbox,
Pilot.
but like maybe they could call it something else.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, also like with that statement, like they're not like, it almost sounded like Nintendo-esque, but it's like they are not going to do something as crazy as like a Nintendo gimmick. It's like
Right.
Connect 3 or whatever last version of Connect was.
Right.
I mean, they didn't
Right.
connect. This is true.
Connect, dude. What are the Microsoft tablet computers called? Surface.
Surface.
Surface. Yeah.
X Surface. Xbox Series Surface.
Yeah.
Something
Well,
stupid.
the thing that's interesting to me is I know I keep coming back to this whenever we start talking about Xbox stuff, but with this like the pre-launch of the Xbox and the pre-launch of the Switch, like I've really been waiting for one of these companies to pull the trigger on, because Xbox was talking about beyond generations, right? Mm-hmm. And so I figured that with the Xbox Series
Iterative.
S and X, that like, oh, okay, in a year and a half, we're going to get another one of these. And a year and a half after that, we're going to get another one. And we'll just get these like incremental power upgrades, kind of like the graphics cards on PC, where like, okay, they'll always maintain like a $500 price point. But in 3 years, that's a significantly more powerful machine. But
It's weird
it
because
has not materialized.
Well,
Yeah.
it's weird because like I think that phones are making bank off of consumers like just kind of accepting like, oh, you can get a new phone every year, like it's the incremental update thing. And like with console gaming and gaming in general, like the PC side of things, it's a little more accustomed to that sort of a thing where you like sort of like Damiani just did, got a new green card, graphics card,
Green card.
like slowly piecing up your PC to be better and better, right? Like that, it's a little more piecemeal, so it makes more sense. But like with console stuff, you would get into weird territory, like with Android phones, where they say like part of the selling point of an Android phone on some models is like, we'll support this for 7 years.
Right.
Like we'll have back-end support on this for 7 years. And like, so it would muddy the waters on like, okay, can my Xbox play this new Halo? Like,
But that's the thing
Like-
with that Beyond Generations thing, is it was a part of that was making sure
That it
that
can-
that backwards compatibility was working.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything that an Xbox One did, an Xbox Series X could do.
yeah. But then like,
But Series S is holding people back.
that's what I was gonna say,
Yeah.
because Phil just said like, I don't want hardware to hold back games. So that's like, I guess that's kind of, you could spin that to support an iterative model, or spin it to say that an iterative model couldn't work, like depending on how you want to read it. Because it's like an pro-iterative model, it's like it'll work on that, it'll just suck, and we didn't worry about that it's going to be in like 1080p or like not even 1080p. Like we didn't worry about that it's like 720 and 15 frames per second on the Xbox Series S, but it runs great on the Series W. Like, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
And I think I think they didn't Xbox at one point have like this crazy like phone style subservice where it's like you didn't actually own the hardware.
That sounds familiar.
I think, yeah, like I don't know
Yeah.
where it's at now, but I think that existed for a time. And so,
Game Pass physical.
right.
So
But that's what I mean, where it's like similarly to how like a lot of the phone companies work. It's like, you're paying,
Yeah.
and then every
You're,
2
like,
years they
leasing
give you
it.
a new phone.
You don't really
if you
own
want.
it. Yeah.
It's like you could pay it off and keep that phone.
Right.
You could pay off that Xbox and keep it.
Right.
Or you could upgrade to the new one when the time comes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think eventually something along those lines will get here. But I really thought the Beyond Generations and the way Nintendo was talking about the Switch, we would see it by now.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like, I wonder, because I think people would just not, it would be a big adjustment for the consumer, I think. But like, if they could get it, I imagine they would make way more money, right? Like, do you make more money doing a new console every 7 years, or do you make more money doing one every 2?
Yeah. I mean, the fact is usually you don't make that much money off the console itself.
At all,
so,
yeah. So maybe that's it, because like the R&D and the like production of the product is so, especially with so many chip shortages and all that we've been seeing since COVID and stuff. Like,
yeah, I think that definitely affected things for sure.
maybe that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how much phone development is streamlined because they're so iterative.
Yeah.
If consoles became that way, I mean, also how much did it cost to go from like PS4 to PS4 Pro development wise, and PS5 to PS5 Pro would like something like that, if they, but didn't seem like PS5 Pro sold very well. So
there are 10 at the Best Buy that I was just at earlier today, just sitting there.
Yeah, right. You can't position them as like the Pro model. It needs to be like, this is the new model every 2 years. And I don't think at least for consoles, the mentality is there yet or will ever be there for something like, I mean, it's a physical thing, like something huge. Like you're really gonna have to replace that every 2 years. Like people, like imagine them replacing your TV every 2 years. It's like, no. Even if it was like cheap, it's like, are you really gonna do that? Whereas a phone, I think it seems so essential, and it's like smaller, compact, and I think it costs
3 times as much.
But that's the thing. It's a psychological thing. So I think for gaming handhelds, you're expected something small. It's like, oh, this is like not going to last as long, but I need to keep using it. So like, let me go get another one. Like,
Well, and also like with phones, they always say like, the marketing cycle is like never ending, and they're always just like, oh, iPhone 16, you can get Apple Intelligence, blah. And like, they focus on these new big whiz bang bullshit things that you can get in the new phone, and it's like video games. We're not in like the SD to HD jumps anymore. Like iterative is not flashy enough maybe to drive a sale, whereas like the Xbox 5, or the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, it's like, oh, it's been 8 years. Like that, that's exciting. It's intrinsic to the marketing of the thing that it's like a big jump in something. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And who is it just pointed out in chat? I think it was Vic Rattler in chat just pointed out that, like, yeah, if you get too iterative, like this too big of a jump in too short of a time for game development, you're just going to alienate a lot of developers, because if for high-end premium games, because they just won't be able to keep up. Like the cost will just spiral out of control. So unless you do want to go for something that's like less powerful in each upgrade, but it just offers a little bit more like stability and slight performance bumps, but it's not like a visual like overhaul. Then I mean, that's another thing about, I think that won't really work with gaming, because one, you're gonna get a whole subset of the consumer base, the quote unquote gamers, are gonna like rage that it's not like a big enough jump and everything like that. Right. So you're gonna have like that discourse, and then you're also gonna have people like, why do I even need to upgrade? Like if this is running like consoles, for a lot of people is like phones. I would say like enthusiast PC is where people are generally more inclined to upgrade and know the value and the meaning behind those upgrades, where consoles are seen as a little bit more simplistic, and they're supposed to last you a little bit longer. And I think that is a hurdle that, as I said earlier, don't think they're getting over that anytime soon. This is why I feel like the mid console refresh thing is really only like it feels like it's clear, just very clearly aimed at a very small subset of enthusiasts who are looking to get on a premium. Market. But I won't even call it like a refresh or anything like that. It's just like a premium model, and and their games still have to run on both, but. And developers really are never gonna you're never gonna see one only run on the one and not the other. Like that's just So it's not even like the same thing. So it's go ahead.
What percentage of high end PC gamers even get every new GeForce every single time, right?
Yeah,
like, not all of them. That's like certainly some, but
you're right.
Like I still have like my editing machine. I still have it's like a 2080 Super, and I'm still outspec'd on the maximum, or like I'm well above the recommended specs on Premiere for editing. So it's like, like I looked at a 3080, which is what my current motherboard could handle, and like they're still cost like $1,000, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Today in the last few days have
not
done a good job for used market prices on GPUs either. But yes, to your actual to your actual point, that's like very true. Like only people who want the bleeding edge newest stuff and have the means, obviously, like you're in a very privileged position to have that much money to upgrade every single generation when it comes to GPUs. But like the performance gains that you get from jumping on those are generally like once every few generations, it's huge. Like I believe the 2000 series, like the 2080 to 39 or 2080 Ti to a 3090 was 3090 to 4090 was a massive jump. But before that, the last one was considered like the workhorse that would last you forever was like the 1080. It was like the 1080 was once considered the best card for the best value. Those days are long gone. But you don't do that generally. You the general rule of thumb that most people who are in the know, especially watch any of those tech content channels and content creators or professionals, they will tell you bare minimum you should be probably waiting, unless you have a very specific need for it, skipping every other generation.
I was gonna say every other,
I'm on the odd number, so I got a 3000 series, so it's now it's the 5000 series, so I was gonna try and get one, and I'm still even second guessing should I just wait to 6000? But it feels like it never gets easier with this stuff, so it's you might as well just get one if you can freaking get one. But yes. And even for computer, it's your computer. You don't they tell you to upgrade incrementally if you have if you can do that. It's a little bit better than just making a whole brand new build every few years. There's a whole subset of videos dedicated to informing and teaching people about what is the best path forward for you if you want to upgrade or get a better performing PC. And some of it's you can just upgrade certain components and you'll be fine. But as you said, Isla pointed out with her GPU, her motherboard only supported up to a certain point. So it's then you'd have to upgrade the motherboard at some point. And then does the RAM. So you have to start asking those questions.
Does that support the RAM?
Yeah. And this is why PC is way more complicated than consoles, which helps illustrate the point of why people like simplicity of consoles, want to keep them for as long as possible. And most of those types of consumers are not looking to upgrade every 2-3 years. They're nah, this is going to last me when I got a back, it's the same mentality for decades now. I bought a VHS player. It's going to last forever. I bought a TV. I bought a DVD player. I bought a Blu-ray player. It's you buy one of those things, you expect it to last for quite a while.
Yeah.
And the only things that seem to have bucked that trend with consistency is the personal phone, cell phone is the only thing that really seems to just be people will do whatever every 2 to 3 years on average.
That's the thing I wait the longest on.
Yeah. Well, and there are phone companies who are incentivized to keep people on their platform by offering shiny new phones, and they can put deals on them. And
that's the thing. Most of the time that I've gotten a new phone until the past couple of times, it's I was getting phones essentially for free.
Right.
For a decade or so. It's oh, okay, new phone for free. Cool.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to get rid of stock. Because it was kind of what Damian was saying with the graphics cards. I wouldn't be getting the newest one.
Right.
I would be getting the one that they're offering for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But last bit from Phil Damiani.
Oh no! What did he do?
He emailed the president of Nintendo to congratulate them on that Switch 2 announcement.
Oh boy!
And said, "I'm really looking forward to supporting Nintendo with the games that we have. They're a real important part of this industry."
Hey, okay.
Hey,
Xbox on Switch. That's
you know what? As much as like I'm laughing and memeing on that, like I like that. Even if it's like, I mean, I'm believing it's genuine and true, and like they all want each other to do like well, but also in business, they probably like, I wish I was winning. You know, like Phil's probably saying, "Damn, I kind of wish we were number one," but like, you know what, like. We need like the gaming industry to do well, and considering
he specifically thanked him for making it bigger because it's easier on his old
there
eyes.
you go, see, there you go, like a little personal touch there. That's a good that's good showmanship. Yeah.
Again, I think for Phil and Xbox, like topping from the bottom is the right move, where it's like you can put your stuff on everything, and then you're fine. You're gonna win out.
And then I've also, which goes right into this, they had a financial report this week with some Xbox figures. Total Xbox revenue fell 7% in Q2, which ended December 31st. Hardware,
Of course it did.
Hardware sales fell 29%.
Damn.
And then content and services, including Game Pass, rose 2%. And Indiana Jones has attracted 4 million players, which is nice.
Through purchases on everything and Game Pass?
I think that's everything, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
PC Game Pass grew by 30%.
It's a crazy deal on PC, kind of.
That's good to hear.
And Game Pass as a whole set a new record for quarterly revenue. So
it's working.
The Call of Duty effect is working.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Call of Duty for free. Well, included in my Game Pass subscription. I wouldn't have tried it if I couldn't just try it. You know?
Yeah.
Zombies is sick as shit.
And again,
game is awesome.
Yeah. Very important that they're like the like kind of like the leader in this, because even though we all like know what's going on with video streaming, there's like a million options. They're in like streaming wars, keep raising prices. The one who seems to be the most dominant still is Netflix, who is like one of the biggest first players. So it does help to be first or one of the earliest and become like the biggest name. So even if other people start throwing their hat in the ring, like this has been a very smart move by them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the flip side of that Call of Duty effect is very interesting because people were playing on Game Pass. According to the Ampere Group, 64% of consumer spending on Microsoft games in December was on PlayStation formats, driven by Call of Duty.
Because they had to buy it. Yeah. So that's a question then, because it's like, is it better to have, those people subscribing to Game Pass on PlayStation, or is it better to have them spend $70 plus microtransactions on Call of Duty every year?
Right.
Like which
they're
one?
going to buy those microtransactions either way.
Yeah.
But which one? You don't get all the goodies just because you have Game Pass.
True. So the $70. Which one makes you more money in the long run? Yeah, I don't know. Probably the subscription, but because that's $120 a year or whatever it is, more than that.
Yeah,
20 a month.
I don't remember the exact yearly.
Well, there's 8 tiers.
I'm still like holding on to my legacy thing that you can't resubscribe to. So.
Oh yeah, I have Ultimate because I was on the PC tier 4 years ago, and then they've just changed it, and I wound up on Ultimate, and I was like, okay, I assume I'm just paying $19.99, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Next up, some rough news. BioWare has announced some restructuring, and there's some layoffs and stuff there this week. This is some corporate nonsense speak here. So
they tried to make it sound like a good thing.
Yeah, so they really tried to butter this up. I'm going to read out this whole statement, but we are going to play a little bit of a game of Release Me here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so when you get to the part where it's like, okay, I can't stand this anymore, just shout out Release Me.
I'm making you do the whole thing.
Oh, no, we'll do the whole thing. I just want to know when you're out. What point gets you? Hello, everyone. Oh, by the way, this is from Gary McKay, General Manager of BioWare. Hello, everyone. Today we are turning towards the future
Oh, I'm out. Fuck that, dude.
and preparing for the next chapter in BioWare's story.
Oh, God, I'm out again.
Trying to treat
As
this-
we announced in August 2023, we are changing how we build games to meet the needs of our upcoming projects and hold ourselves to the highest quality standards.
And that's where you can release me. That's the line right there that indicates, okay, bad stuff's coming. First
Yeah,
line, I was
yeah.
like, if I'm treating it as a first time, like first line, okay, optimism.
If you didn't already
Second
know what's
line,
coming, yeah,
no.
yeah. yeah.
Crushed.
Fuck, dude.
Now that Dragon Age the Veilguard has been released, a core team at BioWare is developing the next Mass Effect game under the leadership of veterans from the original trilogy, including Mike Gamble, Preston Watamaniuk, Derek Watts, Parrish Lay, and others.
Kind of roping them back in now a little bit.
In keeping with our fierce commitment to
Oh my
innovating, during the development and delivery of Mass Effect, we have challenged ourselves to think deeply about delivering the best experience to our fans. We are taking this opportunity between full development cycles to reimagine how we work at BioWare.
We're back out.
Yeah.
Given this stage of development, we don't require support from the full studio.
Oh, my God.
We have incredible talent here at BioWare, and so we have worked diligently over the past few months to match many of our colleagues with other teams at EA that had open roles that were a strong fit. Today's news will see BioWare become a more agile, focused studio that produces unforgettable RPGs. We appreciate your support as we build a new future for BioWare.
Places need to stop using the word agile to describe.
I was just going to say that. I'm like, you're not a strike team. You're not infiltrating an enemy base.
Oh.
Like, this is people's lives. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, don't hire. I mean, it sucks that it's like, you know, games require a bunch of people for, you know, a large portion of their development and fewer people for other times in the development cycle, you know, and it's like a well-managed studio understands that and just plans their projects out so they can roll people over to the next project as it comes along, right? Instead of firing everyone between everything. But like, oh, this is getting irritating. Like, it's already so irritating, but
Gone are the days where, oh, you finished a project, but you don't have another project. It's like, well, maybe that team or those teams could spin off and try and do like creative, innovative new
Right.
things. And like,
I mean-
they're
Make
actually working
Pentiment.
towards something. Like
Exactly.
they're trying to make you
Yeah.
either if it's not going to be a game, it might become a new gameplay concept or something. But
Right.
like, nope,
Right.
we're not going to do that anymore. We just have the managers say, here are the projects and this is what you work on. And that is it.
like imagine a game company where instead of fearing for your job every time you near the end of a project, you are excited because you'll know you'll have the runway for 2, 3, 4, 6 months to test ideas, come up with something new and cool, get
But don't
together.
forget this is EA. That
This
is
is
just
EA.
making bank on
Like, yeah.
freaking football club
right,
trading
move
card
them over
things.
to
Yeah.
move them over to soccer, like whatever.
We don't have to move them over. But I'm saying is like they have the resources.
Yeah. Oh,
to-
yeah.
They don't like
You
have
can pay
to let
them,
them
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, like just build it into your budget that the people you have working for you have a yearly salary, and then just let them do stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And
that doesn't even seem hard. Like that seems cheaper in the long run, right?
Yes.
Because like training a new person is expensive,
Yes.
and like firing down and firing back. It's like the paradox of like, is it cheaper to leave your air conditioner on or turn it off and on again or whatever? Where it's
Right.
like, it kind of comes out in the wash, you know, in some climates. Whatever, never mind. But
Yeah.
ugh,
But yeah.
Also, doesn't this basically reads, I mean, it's obvious as shit. Like Mass Effect or bust for BioWare at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah.
If that thing doesn't deliver, it's over. Like EA, Papa EA taking them out into the back, you know, another developer
yeah,
to
jeez.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's telling because it's like. So you're basic. What the thing reading between the lines that they're not saying is, hey, guess what? Mass Effect isn't ready yet.
Right,
Yeah.
Mass Effect is not at the point yet where we can put the full team on it.
right.
And that's not great.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
they're
also-
still like
yeah.
they're still like brainstorming.
Right.
Oof. Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that.
Because how long ago did they freaking tease Mass? Like, it's been like 4 years
4
ago?
years?
Like,
Yeah. It's been a minute.
What's happening? What's happening over there?
Oof. Oof.
Because I think that's the way that, like, these things ideally work.
I
It's like,
can-
okay, you've got the one
Right.
team's working on Dragon Age right now. We get everything prepped. We got the concept. We know where we're going. All right, you guys are winding down. We'll start shifting you over to the Mass Effect team.
And then you go agile. You hit the ground running
Right.
on Mass
Yeah.
Effect.
It's like, okay, we can go full on, but they're
Yeah.
not ready to go full on with Mass Effect yet.
Yeah, which does indicate that it's not in a place in development where they're actually developing.
So that game's still 4 years away.
Yeah.
It's a very good point. It's a long
Well, and the
ways away.
pressure, to your point, Damiani, like, I think that writing has been on the wall for a minute. Like, since Andromeda didn't really perform, like, and the Legendary collection, I think, was all right, right? I don't
that
know
was
if
well
It
received,
sold
yeah.
well, I think.
Yeah.
And, like, so I think that was kind of like a salve on the wound. But, like, I think that the general consensus on Mass Effect is, like, 2 is the good one. 1 and 3 were pretty good. And, like, I think that the like, faith in that, BioWare brand that was there back in the Mass Effect 2-3 days has really taken a huge hit, So yeah, I think you're right. If this new Mass Effect game doesn't wow everybody, I worry for BioWare as a company.
They can't.
Yeah, because it seems like that Veilguard did not meet sales expectations and all
think
that.
it did, yeah.
Which is, again, like, they don't really, at least statement doesn't really take ownership for that, right? From like a management perspective, like, oh yeah, we had people spinning their wheels on this multiplayer game that we tried to make them make,
Right.
and then we took the parts from that and made the Veilguard out of it, and then we put out a trailer that nobody liked to debut it.
And it's like, even though Veilguard wasn't my cup of tea, like, I never want to see this happen to a team. You know,
Right.
like, there was a lot that was really good in that game that I thought, like, they did a great job on, especially given the fact that they were jerked around by management for however many years that was.
And
on
I would,
the multiplayer version.
I imagine, like, part of me, like, even though, like, we disagree on that, like, I would guess some of the stuff that you don't like is stuff that
I
direction that they were given.
I think
make this more appealing
Yeah.
to the Marvel audience or something
yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah, no, I fully think, like, to me that, like, I didn't want to come off as negative on this game, especially because, like, the team members that I've met, I really liked, and I never want to, like, hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that, but, like, there were definitely some choices made in Veilguard that felt like studio notes, that, like, felt like somebody who didn't know, like, somebody was making the wrong decision and not letting somebody do something.
They're like, Dragon Age is too hardcore. We got to make it mass appeal.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah.
It felt there was some kind of, like, cognitive disconnect with that game where it was like the writing and characterization doesn't match for me, like, what else is happening here, and the, like, vestiges of like the kind of ghosts in the shell of it being that multiplayer experience that got, like, kit bashed into an actual RPG. Like, yeah, something went on in the development of this game that just kind of, like, really, really borked it up in a weird way, and it really doesn't seem fair, like, to this team at all, that they get, like they're all, like, the team is getting turned agile now, but, like, they didn't even get a chance, like, they didn't believe in them as they were doing it, apparently, because it's, like, changing gears like that, and it's like, on the one hand, it's like, yes, if something's not working, if you think, like, if you were trying to get in on something that was popular 2 years ago, do change gears, like, don't be too afraid to shift gears, but at the same time, like, if you jerk people around and, like, don't let them actually try to find what the voice of this project is, like, micromanagement and all that, like, you're killing it. Like, you're not gonna let it ever have a chance, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I've been seeing, this week, I've been seeing a lot of posts from staff who have been let go, that were there for a very long time.
Yeah.
Some from the narrative team in particular. And I saw one person who had talked about, like, how much they had looked up to BioWare when they were trying to get into the industry and all
Hell
of that.
yeah. They're huge.
And they're like, yeah, all those people that I looked up to are gone.
Gone.
Like, yeah. I
And
don't.
that's like
Yeah.
that's the thing that these corporate fuckers forget about is like there is a number of actual human beings that you fire when the identity of the thing you bought, the product you bought, the company BioWare that you bought, there is a point that dies if you get rid of too many of the people that made it what it was. You know, like it is those people.
Yeah.
It's not just the name on a building. Like, and people don't, the shareholders, as Huber would say, don't understand that, like, or the boardroom, whatever.
Yeah. The upside of that, at least, is that from the people that they said are still there, Shinobi on Twitter had put some more context on the people that are left for Mass Effect that they called out. So Michael Gamble is executive producer, goes back to Mass Effect 2.
Okay.
The game director is Preston W. I'll just say for now.
Yeah.
Rather than try to say that name again. 24-year veteran. Was lead designer on the Mass Effect trilogy, as well as Knights of the Old Republic and Neverwinter Nights 2.
Oh, hell yeah, okay.
Art director is Derek Watts, who was on the original Mass Effect trilogy as well. Creative director is Parrish Lay, who was lead cinematic and presentation animator going back to Mass Effect 1. Narrative director, we knew about this a while back, Mary DeMarle from IDOS Montreal, worked on Guardians of the Galaxy and Deus Ex.
Oh, cool, okay.
Human Revolution and all that.
I'm glad you're contextualizing this because so often in this industry, people will be like, "Oh, from the minds behind X game or Y game," and then it's like it was like a QA guy and like the craft service guy, and it's like, I mean, it's cool you were there, but like, did you really like?
Yeah, but obviously, like I just said, seeing some of the people that were let go that had been there for a long time that are part of this character. The other statement that I saw was from Michael Dowse from Larian. Mm-hmm. They like to speak their mind about this stuff.
Yeah, because they, tend to try to do it.
They know
the
a thing
way.
about making some RPGs and then having cycles and all of that, right?
Yeah.
So here's a quote from him this morning. It is possible not to lay off large parts of your development teams between or after projects.
Yeah.
Critically, retaining that institutional knowledge is key for the next. It's often used as an excuse to, quote, trim fact, and to an extent I understand that under financial pressure. But doesn't that just highlight how needless the aggressive efficiency of giant corporations is? I'd understand it if they were pumping out hit after hit. Perhaps you could argue it's working. But clearly, the aggressive streamlining layoffs are not. It's nothing but cost cutting in the most brutal sense. It's always people lower down the food chain that suffer when it's clearly strategy higher up the food chain that's causing the problem.
Yes.
On a pirate ship, they toss the captain overboard. Video game companies should be run like pirate ships.
I mean, I fully agree. Like that's completely correct. Also, like, who are they robbing themselves of? Like, do they not understand that fostering talent, is how you get brilliant minds in an industry where you make art? I mean, Miyazaki comes to mind from Software. Started, pretty low on the ladder, like QA or whatever the hell it was, and now runs the damn place. And it's like, that doesn't happen if you fire everyone in QA every year.
Yeah. Right.
Like, it's ridiculous. Daddy EA needs to cool it.
I mean, it's not just EA.
Everybody. Everybody. Daddy capitalism.
You can't, The short-sightedness increases is dominating over long-term sustainability and growth. They don't care about that. So you don't need the age of like the people who can actually have the power and the money to make that, like to control the company and actually make those calls aren't going to be like, hey, you had like this game, good effort, but like I want you to learn some lessons. I want your team to continue because I believe in you and like I see talent here, and we're going to like weather a little bit of a rocky release, but then like your next project comes back is bigger, and then like you make more money, or you start building up your reputation. No one wants to play that long game anymore. I think it was like also a thing you were just talking about, like Miyazaki and like even like the older generations of game developers before him, they were all in a situation where the industry was so new and young, and so you had to do what we're talking about just to like, you know, keep going. It's like you can't just get rid of the team. They're the only people here. Like,
Right,
yeah, and
right.
if you want to
They're
keep
the
making,
only
do you
ones
want to
who
go
know
out
how
of
to
business? Yeah. Do you just want to
this
shut down?
hardware.
Yeah. Do you want to shut down the business and not
Yeah.
do video games anymore? So it's like you kind of had to, but now the where you are, that luxury I think just doesn't exist. I mean, like, and people love to say like maybe it's like in the indie space, but like it does not seem like that's anymore. You know.
Oh yeah, there's challenges. For
Yeah,
sure.
the challenges there.
Funding
just
challenges
yeah.
right now are very difficult. Yep.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
VC is dried up. Well, and also like all the VC is going into generative AI, and like, is it a coincidence that the rise of generative AI is matching these historic layoffs of the past few years? I don't think so. Like, God,
I feel like
I'm tired of living in the worst period of everything.
there are like a few companies that like have still tried to do this and do it, but like they're not perfect either. But it's like you can look at I would say like Monolith Soft at Nintendo, and even before
Right.
then,
Yeah.
like they've retained a lot of that like team, and they've tried to like keep that like talent going. I mean, it does feel like a lot of like the Japanese studios have attempted to do that, whether it was like by, you know, design of like their labor laws over there, or just like
Yeah,
that's what they
lower
felt
yearly
was
pay
also
or
like the
whatever.
best way. But we've also
Yeah.
seen people have bailed on their companies and it's come out, you know, they were not happy there and wanted to do other stuff. So it's like it is far from that perfect utopia of like, oh, they're gonna keep you there. They're gonna like, you know, have you develop, and you're gonna be like the next Miyamoto or Miyazaki
Right.
or, you know, one of the big names, Kojima, whatever. That's not usually gonna be like the case. So I just feel like, you know, it stinks because like you read all these great interviews and these like, you know, oral histories of like the 80s and 90s of game development, and like seeing
Right.
these teams both in various regions of the world who were just like making games because they love them. Everyone like didn't like, people are just doing so many different roles, so much creativity. Like how many of these games that we like love, some of them were just like The Link's Awakening was like, oh, it was like a pet project to see if they could get Zelda to run on Game Boy, and it was like, what? It was like they were just like borrowing the hardware, like they were trying, and then like they, you know, stories like that where it's like that doesn't happen anymore. You like
Yeah.
that just does
like
not
that's
exist.
what that's what we're missing out on. Is
Yeah.
like somebody at BioWare between teams who, like, if they hadn't done this, you know, between projects or whatever, like comes up with the next, you know, Queen's Blood or Gwent or something, like
Right.
puts it in again, you know, like they just come up with the next thing that, you know, or Balatro, you know, like something.
Yeah. But if you're somebody out there that needs some people, a lot of great developers just
Yeah.
went on the market. Clearly, somebody already snagged Corinne Bush before this went public.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't hear that? Mm-mm. Yeah, a couple weeks ago,
Oh
she had
no, yeah,
announced
she
was
went to.
leaving.
Yeah, no, I did hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's because she got an offer that
That
she
makes a
couldn't
lot.
refuse.
That makes a lot more sense now. Where she was like, "I got to get get out of here." God,
Yeah. So
I mean, I'm glad that she was able to do that. Like, yeah, it's just so disappointing. Like, I'm not surprised, obviously, anymore by any of this, but it's just like, ugh. Who was it? Which company? Do you recall which one gave like a big end of the year bonus to like everyone and their employees instead of firing everyone? Game development company. Anyway, more of that.
It's, Shift Up did something similar like that. They gave like everyone a PS5 Pro or something.
Okay. I mean, money is better than stuff, but whatever. Somebody did that, and I'm like, do that. Like, give everyone, you know, like, reward hard work with rewards instead of getting fired.
Oddly enough, I'm about to talk about a game called Eternal Strands that is headed up by a former BioWare lead, Dragon Age lead. Yeah, a positive step. And Don's pulling up some B-roll from what I've been playing this week. This is a very interesting game. And again, like, this is a small studio, but I think if you look at this, you probably wouldn't peg it as an indie game. Like,
oh, yeah, not a chance.
yeah. It's
this looks
a
good.
really good looking game. It's a really interesting concept, and like how like there's a fair amount of like Breath of the Wild like systems based mechanics with like physics and fire and other elements and stuff like that. There's a fair amount of Shadow of the Colossus in here.
I was gonna say, is this a Shadow of the Colossus type one? Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a fair amount, like, there are times when, like, those kinds of things coming together remind me of Dragon's Dogma.
Hell yeah.
There's things in here that remind me of Hades as well. So it's just a really interesting action-adventure game. And I'd say, like, maybe the biggest difference between this and say like Breath of the Wild is that it's just like it's a little bit more like focused. So like rather than just like being put out into a huge open world, like you're essentially going like level by level through fairly large zones, but not just endless vistas or anything like that.
It doesn't drop you in
That's
a
fine.
valley and say defeat Ganon.
Or give you like 13 different side objectives.
Yeah. What, Damiani?
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, plenty of great games that do that. Like that's Xenoblade. I mean, they have a million things to do, but large, beautiful environments. You know, it doesn't always have to be seamless open world. By the way, before I forget, this is also one that like Creative Studio 3 is doing something with this as well. I forgot.
Right.
Like,
They did
a boss or something.
Crossover,
A boss.
right?
Yeah, a boss encounter or
cool.
something. Yeah.
But yeah, so you have
Yo, this looks good, dude.
yeah, so this is the camp. So this is kind of like this is where my Hades comparison is because you come back to the camp and you pet the ox and you talk with everybody there and get little story updates from the different people in your caravan. But see so now this is the same area, but now this is at night. And so when you go out on a run and then come back, that's what shifts the day-night cycle. Oh. And so you go out and you explore and you do some story objectives and stuff like that. And then when you're ready, you fast travel back to your camp. And then you can use your resources and stuff that you collected out there to upgrade your armor and all of that. And then people will, maybe give you quests to like, hey, go look out for this thing, find some of these for me to make this potion or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then when you go back, now it's like it's shifted from day to night. Areas also have different weather conditions that change. So like it could be like
2025, the year of weather.
Yeah, this area could be in drought conditions now.
Okay.
And so your fire is going to catch a lot easier and spread more quickly. Or I saw one where it's like,
why does that sound familiar?
I was about to say, I was making the face. I was like,
yeah.
So good.
There's one where there's like miasma, right? But yeah, so like here's the fire mechanic where like this freaking ice dog just like murdered me. And so I grabbed a fire pod and used that to wipe him out.
You love moving a pod from one area to another area and using it.
Yeah, and that's the first things that you have are like the telekinesis, which is again very kind of similar to like Tears of the Kingdom kind of thing.
Yeah, it does look like that. Yeah.
And then there is
a touch of levity. That's fun.
The ice spell, which is really nice because not only can you kind of like carve a path through like burning areas, but you can also like freeze enemies in place.
Yeah, it looks.
And
can
it's
you
a
use
little
it for traversal too? Like make a water thing and jump on it like in Zelda?
Not quite.
Okay.
You can like climb on it and stuff.
Okay.
And it's a little bit squirrely. Like it takes a little getting used to like spraying the ice because like sometimes like you'll be trying to spray this guy, but you'll spray the ground in front of him instead, and then you raise up, and rather than like going over the ice, you just like are building like a wall in front of yourself. But then the other part that's kind of similar to Breath of the Wild is that like a lot of the materials break down into resources, right?
Right.
So like your
Which
boards,
it seems like you're always full on them.
Yeah. Well, I'll get to that here in a second.
Okay.
But like your boards and stuff break down into wood. You can like smash carts or like one time I like smashed like a whole house. Like I just kept whacking at the house until the house like blew up, and then there's like, there's a treasure chest inside. Nice.
Very Fortnite.
There's another part where there's like this tower, and there's like clearly a chest like underneath of me, and so I just like kept whacking at the wooden floor until I smashed the floor, and then I could go down and get the chest.
Okay. So is everything destructible? Like
not everything is destructible, but But there's just like a lot of things like that there are, right?
Okay.
And with the crafting here, like you can only carry like so many types of resources at a time. But the crafting system is really interesting because each one of your blueprints, it has certain types of materials. But for each of those types, that like there are better and better versions. So it's like
Okay, so you need less of the better one, maybe.
Well, you can make your armor like be more efficient. So like you can focus on your armor to like be stronger or to be less weighty, or you can focus on more ice resistance or heat resistance. And then when you come back with a new set of materials, you can essentially swap your materials out and make your armor better with the new stuff that you found.
That's cool.
Not just having to like find more and more blueprints.
That's a nice take on a crafting system like that.
Yeah, anything to make it less tedious, I'm for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More modular is, that's nice.
So, and that's one of the things too, because you only have so many slots to pick up items, it's like sometimes like you'll find something that's like, oh, I can't pick this up, so I'm just going to throw away the iron or the leather because I've got enough of that.
Drop the crappy stuff and pick up the...
And then similarly, in your camp, you upgrade all of your resource stations, so you can like turn any of your resources into just like a generic supplies, and then with enough supplies, you can upgrade your forge, or upgrade your alchemist station, or whatever, or even upgrade the ability to carry more items.
And those are just like generating while you're out doing stuff?
No, that's like
base?
you trade in your resources, like your excess resources, to be able to upgrade the stuff that's your stations in the camp.
And upgrading them gives you access. Like, what is that actually? Like, is it things cost
like you can
less
raise
to
the
make?
level on a piece of gear.
Okay.
Or like you can carry more supplies at a time.
Okay.
And then the punishment for death when you die, then like you can only like pick like 3 things out of your supply box.
Oh.
So like you lose most of your resources, not everything, but you lose most of it. But that's another thing that gets upgraded.
Okay.
Is when you die, like how much stuff you can bring back.
Oh,
with you.
so that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely want to upgrade.
And then this is the kind of the Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay, tell me about this, because it looked like you were like targeting specific parts of the body, and they like you like defeat the shin and stuff.
Yes. So so first of all, like I was spraying ice to like hold his foot down so I could get on there.
Very cool.
And then you hold the Y button on Xbox to cling, kind of like Shadow of the Colossus when he's going to try to shake you off.
Yeah.
But then they're like exposed like bits of skin.
Okay.
That you can do damage to, and then like once you've done enough damage, and it's like, okay, you can't do any more damage
you
here.
expose the skin.
But yeah, then the armor has got like these bolts in it, so you whack at the bolts to knock a piece of armor off and expose like a chest area or something like that.
Love to expose the chest area.
And then I was having a hard time with the bow. The default bow is pretty weak, so it's one of the first things.
Yeah,
like,
this
trying
looks
to
pretty
upgrade.
gnarly, and you keep hitting just.
Yeah, and I kept missing.
Dude, this looks sweet.
Yeah.
The animation on this guy, for being like a big guy, he's moving really fluidly and stuff. Like normally you see people like simulate size by making them go really slowly, but he like, especially when you're on his leg, he was just like trying to like wiggle you off.
Yeah.
It looked really convincing.
Yeah, the performance has been pretty good on this game so far too.
I was gonna say it didn't seem framey. Like.
Yeah. This is when I'm smashing the house here.
Oh yeah. Dude, I'm pretty impressed by this game so far. Like, I knew it was a small team, and like just hearing the concept without really seeing more than a trailer, I was like, yeah, okay, Jan. But this seems pretty sick.
Yeah, and then with the combat, the base combat is pretty simple. Like it's just like whack, 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 or like charge to do a stronger attack.
Sorry, your weapon was doing so many 69 damages
Yeah,
right now in the B-roll. I was like, we can't just let that go by.
I see. But then it's about like working, with the other systems, right? So like holding, like freezing like a guy in place so that then you can go in them and attack them while they can't get you. There is with the sword and shield, you block, and then there is a parry
Okay.
So that like when you parry, they get stunned for a bit, so then you can follow up. And that window is pretty generous. It's not too punishing. The one thing that I've been learning to do is parrying arrows from archers,
Oh, cool.
because that's pretty nice because it will actually fling them back at the archers.
Oh. Like
And we'll
like
probably
a
see the shot in a
Jedi.
second. We don't have to fast forward or anything, but there's a point when there's this dude sniping me from up in this tree, and I'm like, dude, for real? Like I'm trying to fight some other dudes while he's sniping me.
Yeah.
And so then I parried, and I didn't realize that I wasn't actually hitting him because I saw the damage number. I was hitting the floor beneath him.
Oh.
But
And so then I parried
Yeah.
a couple of times, and then he fell out of his little
you
hidey
go.
hole. Here
Oh,
it
here he
is.
goes.
Here it is.
Okay.
And then it was like, all right, you're mine now, dude.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're hitting the wall
that's
there.
so cool.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
So yeah, just fun little like
That's
emergent
really
stuff
fun,
like
yeah.
that you don't really expect.
And it looks
yeah,
pretty
when you
systems
get-
based.
Yeah.
Like parts fall and you still have to get rid of the debris and stuff. Like,
Yeah, like bigger chunks will
Yeah.
become smaller chunks before they become things that you can like actually pick up as resources.
which is cool unless it gets like annoying.
Yeah, and then here this Drake fight. This is where I was like, oh, this is Dragon's Dogma.
Classic
now.
Dragon's Dogma, yeah.
Just climbing on this guy while he's going in the air. I'm like, oh crap.
What were you gonna say, Demi?
The ice stuff, just in the way you were talking about it already, but like, because you freeze stuff, but I don't, none of your
I
footage.
shut his mouth.
Oh, you froze his head to his body.
Yeah, like the.
It looks dynamic.
I'm also watching footage from the developer update as well, and it got to a part where that giant like soldier-looking dude with the axe or whatever, like the Shadow of the Colossus thing with like an axe, their character can freeze it to like a pillar, and it's like stuck. So like he baited the
Yeah.
swing and then froze it, got it stuck, and then like went around and then like it when he pulled it back, it like pulled the pillar down. Like the level of like I guess interaction is
Yeah.
kind of surprising me. Like what you can, I'm curious to see like how much you can really like how specific he can be on like these giant enemies. Like he then froze like his foot to the ground and tripped them.
Yeah.
It was like, oh wow,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, fighting that dragon, you froze the dragon's face to its leg,
yeah.
and then its feet to the ground, so it like couldn't move at all.
Yeah,
Right.
It was awesome.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
and
cool.
then yeah, so when you so this is the other thing they introduced a little bit later after the first one of those arc guys that you do is like, so when you defeat them, you actually get the powers out of them like Mega Man.
Does it play really sad music when you do this? When you harvest?
No, well I mean
Oh,
it's definitely playing music, but I don't think it was like super sad.
Okay.
Um,
Just checking.
But that's how like you upgrade your spells and get new spells. So like when I defeated that Drake, now I've got a fire spell. I've got Drake's breath.
Okay.
When you defeat these guys, you get like this blast spell where you create like a little bubble and then you explode it and then you can have guys go flying.
And are these sassy little like Hades-looking characters popping up in the corner? Are they like your friends back at base talking
Yeah,
to
that's
you?
your caravan.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's one thing I will say. There's definitely a lot of lore and talking in this, especially up
Look out
front.
here.
Where it's like,
I'm kidding.
okay, there's pages of stuff to read in here, and a lot to learn about all these different characters because the whole idea behind this world is this place is called the Enclave. And it was this country that really leaned into magic and learning magic and all of that. And they had even started exporting magical devices to other countries around the world.
Okay.
And then this incident happened that they called the Surge. And when that happened,
Shout out to the Surge.
these walls went all around the Enclave. And all of the magical devices around the world stopped working. And like, so
Oh,
some of them
damn.
exploded. And because, again, this is like, these will be owned by people of power and of people
Yeah.
of money. So people were taking like, is this an assassination? Like, what's going on? And the communications were all through these magical devices. Navigation was also, so it's like imagine if everybody's cell phones just exploded.
I was just thinking about the plot of The Kingsman.
Right. Everyone's cell phones exploded,
Where
and
that
nobody knew what was
happens.
going on, and there was no internet, and then there was like decades of war afterwards because everyone thought that the other people did it.
The Samsung Wars.
And then you're this group of people that like something like 50 years later, is like, okay, we think we have a way to get into the Enclave.
Dude.
And
That's a good setup.
Yeah, so you get in there and you're just trying to like work your way forward and get into the city and try to find evidence of like what happened, what was the surge, what is going on here.
What is this game called again?
Eternal Strands.
Oh, okay. I was like, it's not Behemoth.
Yeah.
It's not those other ones. Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's not Deadless or whatever.
Because like South of Midnight,
Dauntless.
all the magic is based on strands and weaving.
Yeah.
And so like even like the mantle that's kind of trailing behind you, kind of like Assassin's Creed style. That is essentially like the focus of your magic. And so that color will change based on what spell you're using.
Cool.
And then similarly with the crafting system, like the items that you use to build your armor or whatever, the colors change based on what items you have equipped.
That's cool.
I don't know if you can dye them later or what, but
Yeah.
as of now, it's like, oh, if you're using purple fur, like you're going to have a purple face mask or whatever. So
That tracks. Yeah. Just like real life. This game seems cool, dude.
yeah.
When's it come out? What are the deets?
So it came out this week.
Oh shit, it's out?
Yeah, it came out on Tuesday. It is on Game Pass.
Damn!
Yeah.
Incredible value. I'm a little busy right now with other games.
Yeah, I'll have to
Yeah.
wait.
I'm about 9 to 10 hours in, something like that.
Cool.
And it doesn't seem like it's gigantic. I've gotten through the first 2 zones now.
Wasn't that another game like this?
What's that?
Gigantic. Wasn't that?
Oh, there's a game named Gigantic,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not like this.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
This game seems cool, and I didn't realize it was already out, and that's exciting to me.
Yeah. I would have thought it was like early access or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, and like, and with systems-based games, like there's like a little bit of things that are always like perfect, right? Like things
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of bounce around or whatever.
Artistic physics.
Yeah, well, like what was funny when I first started, because my sword I hadn't leveled up my sword yet. It wasn't strong enough to just like smash a box.
Oh, funny.
And so I would hit boxes to try to get resources in it, but I would just knock them off a cliff. And I'm like, well, I guess that's gone now.
Yeah, that'll happen.
The other annoying bit that I've done so far was there's this area in the swamp that's like, for some reason we haven't learned why yet, is just entirely encased in ice.
Ooh.
And you have to go in there and get something. And so it's like I could pop a potion to help give me some ice resistance, but then just like trying to use the flame to like carve a path, and then the ice just kind of like instantly overtakes it. Not instantly, but quickly enough to where it's like this is like busy work just trying to like move forward and not freeze to death.
Right.
Whereas like other places where I've seen ice, it's like if you just melt the crystal, then the ice will go away. But this place, is just like, okay, get in and get out because it's annoying to try to stay in there for too long. Maybe there'll be a reason to go back. But yeah.
I saw you had a ladder leaned against a cliff, and I thought, like, is this a Strand game? It's like, are you Death Stranding over here?
Yeah. But the climbing is more
Then you just climbed instead of
Breath
using
of the
it.
Wild style.
So I was
You
like,
just
oh, okay.
climb the wall.
Yeah.
I have found some spots where like, oh, there's this big tree with some like, there's some platforms around it, like treehouse kind of platforms.
I love a treehouse.
And so I climbed the tree, and like, sure enough, there were some chests and stuff up at the top.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So good stuff. Next up, we're going to get Gabby in here to talk about Hello Kitty. All right, Gabby. Welcome.
Bring.
We've been waiting for this since Summer Game Fest. I got to see this game there. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It's been on phones for a long time.
Yes, since 2023.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've been putting update after update on this game, but it's now finally on consoles and PC, and you've been playing it for a little bit now.
Yeah, I've put about 10 hours into it, maybe 15. And
Dude.
I mean, first things first, this game is Animal Crossing. Like, it's Animal Crossing mixed with a little Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And in some ways, there's a lot more you can do than in, like, say, Animal Crossing, but also in a lot of ways, there's less. But this game is, I'm addicted to it at this point.
Oh, shit.
has a god tier character creator. First of all, you can make a really cute little creature.
Oh.
You can choose from a cat, a dog,
It's like a bunny.
yeah, a
type,
rabbit, a bird,
Yes.
Love a bird.
a sheep, and a horse.
Oh,
Yeah. So I made a little dog.
can you mix the elements of the animals?
No.
Okay.
But when you select your like species first, and then the next page you can choose like the breed, basically.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
dog with like a curly tail. I'm a little fat dog with like a angry eyes. He's very cute. And yeah, you do. Whoa, I haven't done that. Sorry.
Chased by a lava ball
yeah,
on a minecart? Yeah, that looks pretty wild.
So it starts. You kind of crash land on this island. And you are with your friends, various Sanrio characters.
Is Big Challenges there?
Not yet, but you can unlock big challenges later.
Woo!
Yeah, big challenges for
So
those
he's
who
in
don't
the
know.
game?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
She told
confirmed
me
in the
about
game.
Big Challenges the other day,
Yeah,
and
the
I'm,
alligator big challenges.
it won me over on Sanrio.
But all your favorite Sanrio characters are in here. You're
As well as many you've never heard of.
like big challenges.
Like
Yeah.
Big Challenges. Who's just some kind of gator.
Yeah. Apparently he's like never been used in like content or something.
Really?
I don't know. I just
Big
read something about
Challenges,
that.
dude.
But yeah, you do favors for people, you do little quests, you can give people gifts, and that like upgrades your friendship with them. That fox was really cute.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that's a good
It's
plot.
a lot of cooking.
Yeah, there's cooking, there's crafting, you can make soda, you can make ice cream, you can make pizza.
Dude.
And then a huge part of it is there's Gudetama hiding around the island, and Gudetama are like he's like an egg yolk.
I was gonna
Okay.
say that's the egg one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
He's a lazy egg yolk, and if you see Gudetama on the island, you take a picture with the Gudetama, and then you're also collecting these pictures, and eventually you can have more people visit the island and move into the island. I haven't really gotten to that yet. I had Dear Daniel, Hello Kitty's boyfriend, visit, but
I'm not aware of this.
I didn't really understand whether he was going to stay or not. It was confusing.
Is he also a human that just looks like an animal?
That's a good question. Probably.
Look into that.
Yeah.
Hello Kitty is apparently not a cat,
Yeah,
but,
she's a little
a
girl.
little girl,
Yeah.
which is so weird.
And I will say this game is definitely a mobile game. Like, the frame rate and the camera angles are stomach churning sometimes. Like,
Oh,
truly.
yeah. I was actually wondering, because when I saw it, it's like, it looks like this needs some work on the frame rate. It's like, oh, we got some time before it comes out.
it's chugging
but-
along sometimes. Like,
There-
especially there's
And
a
you're playing the
potion
Switch
you can
version?
drink. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a potion you can drink that makes you faster, and the
Phones are better than the
the
Switch.
world could simply not
So-
load fast enough for
my
the speed
God.
I was walking.
Right.
And sometimes the sometimes the camera is feels like it's like 1 inch above your head.
Yeah, that was it. I was wondering about that too, because sometimes it feels like can you pull back a
Yeah, just a little
more?
bit.
Yeah.
In the previous trailer we were watching, there was a part where your character climbed up an ice cliff and onto the path, and like the camera did something where I was like,
it moves
like,
around
ugh,
crazy.
like what
and
is
sometimes
happening?
it'll like move farther above you. And,
Right.
But yeah, it's
Avert your eyes, dummy.
yeah, it's stomach churning
Oh, he's
for,
gone,
for
so
sure.
that's he's gone.
Oh, no.
Good, that's for the best.
But what else is gonna say? Oh, also I will say like sometimes it's a little bit hard to figure out. Like you'll get a bonus or something for becoming better friends with someone, and it'll be a kind of difficult to figure out what exactly that bonus does.
Right.
And
That's a challenge in real life too.
yeah,
You're like, what utility do you have to me?
but yeah, you're just like catching bugs. It's Animal Crossing. You're catching bugs. You're fishing. You're picking up sticks and rocks and crystals and
Yeah.
and there's even a like not zoo, like a what is it called? Like a
aquarium
biodiversity museum
like,
kind
yeah.
of. So you're catching bugs and giving them.
It
and
looks like
fishing
there's
and
a
giving them to.
larger emphasis on exploration. Though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
The whole,
That's the next thing I
The
was
game
gonna
is
say.
gigantic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
The
game
map is
actually
huge. It's like 3 or 4 times the size of an Animal Crossing map, if not more. And there's so much to explore. There's a whole like underwater area that I didn't unlock until recently.
You become a mermaid.
Yeah, you have stamina that you build up as you kind of make friends with different characters, and
Like stamina in the sense of like
Breath of the Wild.
How high you can climb.
Yeah.
And
for
stuff
climbing.
like that.
Okay,
Yeah, for climbing, not
I
for
didn't know
running.
if you meant like how sometimes phone games like limit how much you can achieve by giving you like.
So there-
Play
No, I don't think it has
stamina.
anything like that because
No.
it's an
Okay,
Apple
good,
arcade
good.
game. So
Yeah.
There is like, I don't know if there were microtransactions in the mobile game, but like I could see where they might be, but I've never really had to.
yeah, I don't think that they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
Apple arcade games often don't. but-
Yeah. But like, you can only gift your friends 3 gifts a day. And then, but they also gave me flowers that
Love
I
the
can give them, and then I
spooky
can give
zone.
them more gifts. So I don't totally understand that. But yeah, it's really fun.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that it was just a surprise. It was just a surprise to play this and be like, oh, this is actually a really worthwhile
Right, like this is
game.
a
It's
game.
not just a,
It's not just a piece of crap on my phone.
I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when we first saw the trailer for this, and I had never heard of this game before, but it was like a couple of years ago, STF or whatever, and I was like, oh, this actually looks kind of good, and then it was like, it's a phone game, and I was like, oh, but it looks good though, like, so not to say all phone games are bad, because that's not true, but yeah. Shout out
And-
Dungeon Village 2.
And like I said, they've just been like update. So like, who knows how long this thing will keep going and keep giving you new content.
Yeah.
I
Who's-
think there's a long way for Gabby to go
Yeah.
before she's exhausted what's already been done.
And, it's like Animal Crossing. Well, yeah, like Animal Crossing, how you can like only do a certain amount of things in a day, kind of. Like you'll run out of resources.
Right.
This game, you definitely run out of resources faster, and you run out of kind of things to do faster. But it's a nice little game to just check in on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't wait to get home tonight and do a little check in.
Who's your favorite
Oh,
Sanrio
yeah.
character?
I have 2, Hangyodan, who's the fish man,
Okay.
and Karapi, who's the little frog.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Frog Guy is great.
I don't know why in my mind I thought I would know who you were talking about, but
I mean, if we
Definitely
if we
don't.
look at the title screen, I can point out which one is which. But, yep. Okay, Hangyodan's second from the left at the top.
okay, yeah.
And then
Okay, yeah.
He looks
Karapi's
great.
second
He's
from the
a
right on the
fish with a
bottom.
fishing pole
And
for
I-
our listeners to understand.
He's
fish
a
with a fishing
comedian.
pole wearing. Yeah, okay, that explains the pinstripe suit.
His house is or not his house. Well, I don't know. Is a comedy shop. A comedy like stand up venue.
That's funny.
And you can only meet him once you get the snorkel and the flippers, and you like swim down. And he's like, "Hi, this is my comedy club," and you have to like help
Oh yeah, I
restore the
remember that. You're
comedy
telling
club.
me about the
Yeah,
underwater comedy
That's
club.
so funny.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Gabby.
You're welcome.
We got more to come, but if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell on YouTube. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. Also, if you want to put your name right in the space, if you want to sponsor this podcast, get in touch. You can email us at info@easyallies.com, and we will get you all the details. Damiani, you gave us a little teaser last week, but it's time for the December sales report. This is from Matt Piscatella of Circana. Our U.S. video game market ranked by dollar sales. So we've got, because it's December, we've got December top 20. We also have the 2024 top 20. And because it was very interesting, we're also going to take a look at the Switch 2024 top 20. Because it's a little different than the other platforms with all those exclusives they got over there.
Of course.
But some figures before we get to the lists. December spending declined 8.9% compared to a year ago. 2024 overall declined 1.1%, bringing in $58.7 billion across 2024. December hardware spending dropped 29% versus the previous December to $1.1 billion. Spending on PS5 hardware fell 18%. Xbox Series and Switch each declined by 38%. And annual spending on video game hardware finished 25% lower than 2023.
Time for those new consoles.
Right? Yeah. Matt is definitely looking forward to that Switch 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an interesting tidbit. 49% of PlayStation 5 and 43% of Xbox hardware sold in December did not include a physical disk drive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for the 2024 year, all digital editions comprised 45% of all PlayStation units and 44% of Xbox. So
I do use my Series X as a Blu-ray player in addition to being an Xbox. Because my
Nice.
PlayStation does not have a disc drive.
Yeah.
There was a minute where I didn't have anything that could play a disc of any kind, and that I didn't own anything that could. And I was like, wait a minute,
Right.
this is a problem.
Right.
Yeah, I did that first PC that had that. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How do I? Oh, shit.
How do I install Excel?
No.
Yeah, well, that's just when I built my PC, which was a couple years ago now. That was 2020, I think. 2020,
5 years
2021.
ago.
Yeah.
Shocking if true.
But whenever the 3080 came out, because it was right then. But
1996.
Yes.
but yeah, the company that I ordered my PC build from didn't even offer a disk drive. I had to buy that separately and put it in
Oh,
myself.
wow.
Yeah.
I had to buy a separate disk drive for Blade Runner and that wonderful person who sent me the Silent Hill 2 PC.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had that external drive, USB drive for that, which was good that I had that.
PlayStation Portal was the best-selling accessory in consumer
surprised.
spending during both December and the whole year. But I think that's dollar sales, so it's more expensive. So it's going to take a little bigger chunk. The PS5 Midnight Black controller
I keep hearing about that. Yeah.
led unit sold.
And-
So there it
yeah.
is. That's the long play. Sony makes a white console with a white controller because they know you're going to buy the black one.
It's the long con. The 7-year long con.
Yeah. Portal sales actually I was joking. That is a big surprise. I think a lot of people didn't think it wasn't going to do that well at all initially.
I got one and I think I've used it twice. I need to
Sell it.
that thing. Yeah. I wanna
Yeah,
sell that
it's
thing.
like I want to compare it to like the Wii Fit balance board.
Yeah.
It's the aspirational accessory. Oh, I'm going to use this thing so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I started
happen.
looking for it when my mother-in-law was staying with us for a month and was constantly watching British crime dramas like New Tricks. And I was like, I want to play my PlayStation, but she's watching New Tricks on our TV. Turns out New Tricks, pretty good show. I got pretty into it. I sat there just watching that
Is
with
it
her.
one word with a U or is it New Tricks?
New Tricks.
Okay.
Because it's these old guys and,
All
Trying to
dogs,
solve-
New Tricks. Got it.
trying to solve cold cases.
Got it.
And this like younger lady is like in charge of the cold case department, and they all have their little quirky New Tricks. Check it out.
So December is an interesting month because, as we always, kind of talk about, there's not a lot of big releases in December.
Mm-hmm.
So we have one new guy on the list. Should be easy to guess.
Oh.
Is it Imbiamba Jones?
Yeah,
Gotta be, right? Yeah.
Indiana Jones
Huh.
debuted at 14th. Remember that's exclusive.
Right.
now, so No PlayStation sales there.
Is that's on Game Pass, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay,
So
yeah.
and then we just heard that
Oh, yeah, right.
4 million
4 million
players for
yeah,
that.
Yeah. I was trying to remember if I got a code or if I just put it on Game Pass.
Yeah, so most of the rest of this list is your 2024
COD,
greatest hits.
Yeah,
Madden,
let's go through. Yeah.
whatever the new soccer thing is
Yeah.
called.
Yeah.
Sports.
So I don't know if we need to do a lot of guessing.
Minecraft.
On this one.
Is Mario Kart
Elden
still
Ring.
off the top 20?
Nope, it's back.
It's back.
Came
That's
back.
why they announced
Christmas.
it. So it went back on December. Nintendo must have had early access to this list. Greenlit that announcement trailer. They saw it. They saw it. It was off it for 3 months, and it
It was
came
off
back.
which was exactly what we said. Or you,
Yeah, it was
you
off
said
for 3
as
months,
soon as it was gone for
and
3
it came
months.
back, and Mimo was like, "It's time."
It's time.
And he hit the button.
I mean, anytime there's a holiday shopping season, though, like you're gonna sell some Mario Kart.
Yeah, yeah. It went from 38th up to 16th.
Yeah, that's the holiday bump.
Don't
right
worry.
there.
I have a feeling at some point in the next 6 to 9 months, you're going to be seeing Mario Kart back in the top 20. And it ain't going to be number 8.
Sorry,
Yeah. So here's
the
our
Severance notification just came through. New episode's up.
our December shopping list. 20, Just Dance 2025 edition.
Oh my God!
it's
Oh my
still
God! Of
around.
course.
Just
You would think that would
Dance.
get. You would think that would get a big bump in January when people were like, "I need to exercise."
Right.
Maybe I should get Just Dance.
19th is Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Sure.
18th is God of War Ragnarok.
Huh.
17th is Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Still holding on.
Christmas. Yeah.
16th is Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
15th is Helldivers 2.
How
Yeah,
the mighty
okay.
have fallen.
14th is Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
13th is Spider-Man 2.
I thought Indy would be higher.
Yeah, but
I would've
again,
made it
Xbox
Exclusive, yeah.
Exclusive, yeah.
Yeah. I would have guessed like top 10 though.
12, Elden Ring.
Yeah.
11, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Power of anime, dude.
There you go.
10, NBA 2K25.
Of course.
9 is where Minecraft is.
Wow.
Look at it on the rise. That
Proud
movie
of
this
you.
year, right? It's going to keep rising. Just get ready.
8 is Astrobot.
There you go. There's the Game Awards
Dude.
bump.
Yeah, for real.
7 is Hogwarts still.
God.
6
It stays
is.
in there.
I will tell you, when I was back home for Christmas and the cable TV was just like on all the time, any Warner-owned cable network,
Oh, I bet.
sickeningly amount of like, here are all of our games. Here's Harry Potter. Here's the Quidditch thing. Here's
Batman,
the Hogwarts.
VR.
Here's Mortal Kombat. Here's Suicide Squad. Just a barrage, just constantly.
Ads all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget that I don't ever see ads.
Right.
So it's like I have no idea what like that whole thing is up to because I don't have I don't have cable or whatever.
Yeah, like I think they like were even like specifically like Christmas bundles.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of stuff,
for
yeah.
sure.
6 is Sonic X Shadow Generations.
Dude,
There you
With
go.
the movie right there.
Yeah, movie bump.
Sustaining it.
Sonic is a feel good success, Like
Yeah.
anytime there's a Sonic happening, I'm like, yeah, shit, yeah.
5 is Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Dude, yeah.
Ooh.
And that's just physical?
Yes.
Crazy.
4 is EA Sports FC 25.
That's what it's called now. That's the one that used to be FIFA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after they split with FIFA. 3 is college football. 2 is
course.
Madden. And 1 is Black Ops 6.
Oh, Black Ops 6.
Now, moving on to that 2024
Oh yeah, the whole year.
full year.
All right, here we go.
Ooh.
So,
COD.
COD did it.
Yeah.
They were number 2, but in the end, they win again.
They clinched it out.
They got to be the number 1 game of 2024
Good for them.
for a record 16th consecutive year.
I see.
I thought they missed a year.
Well, they're
didn't they
going to
slow
miss this
development?
coming year when that GTA 6 drops.
Oh, that's true.
No, I thought
end
they
is
didn't come
coming.
out one of the years.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, even if they didn't, maybe the one before
still
did it.
sold, yeah.
Yeah. EA Sports College Football is the best-selling sports video game in U.S. history.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Just within this year?
Yeah.
Best-selling within 1 year or best-selling at all ever?
Yeah. Best-selling ever.
Wow.
Best-selling sports game.
And it was behind Madden this year, though.
No, it was above Madden.
Oh, was it number...
College football is at second place.
Oh, it was number 2.
Madden was at sixth.
What? Was it college football and then something, or just college football and then Call of Duty?
So on the full year, college football is second place. Call of Duty is first place.
For December, though.
Oh, for December.
In December, Madden beat it.
I
Sorry,
think so.
I got
think
confused.
so.
Never mind. Ignore me.
In December, Madden beat it.
Okay,
yes.
okay. That's cool. I've heard good things about that college football. Whatever. People like it.
That's good.
Is what I've heard.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know.
Definitely outside of my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't know.
People like to not be terrorized by Mahomes.
That does seem to be the case.
As Damiani brought up last week, Rebirth did manage to stay in the top 20 for the year. 17th place
Okay.
for the full year, 2024.
There's a 7 in that.
Right.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is at 12th place.
You're shitting me.
No.
Wow. Dude. God. I'm proud of you. Good job. I love that game. 12th. That's way better than I thought.
Too bad there's no Huber here because GTA 5 is at 15th place.
Dragon's Dogma beat it.
Yes, like a 12-year-old game.
Hey, still, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Big day for Dragon's Dogma.
Elden Ring is still at 9th place in there.
Nice.
Okay.
Helldivers 2, 3rd place for
Third.
the year.
Yeah, finishing strong.
Yeah. Some good
That's
stuff.
great.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Any questions before I go through the full top 20 for the year?
Minecraft. Mario Kart.
Minecraft 16th.
All right.
Mario Kart is not there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Another reason Nintendo hit the button.
Yeah.
Right. So 20th is NBA 2K24.
Oh,
Is basketball less popular, I guess, than football?
Well, that's 24. That's the year before.
generally,
That's the previous
yes,
year.
though, yes.
Yeah.
Soccer, I know, worldwide is the biggest,
Yeah.
right? Football.
19th was Spider-Man 2. 18th was Tekken 8.
Tekken 8.
That's a win for fighting games.
Yeah. 17th was Rebirth. 16th was Minecraft. 15th was GTA. 14th was MLB, the show, 24.
gotta have
Yep, that's
baseball
always
in
in
there,
there.
yeah.
That's always in there.
13th was WWE 2K24.
Gotta have wrestling in there.
Then we got Dragon's Dogma 2. 11th is Hogwarts Legacy. 10th is the EA Sports MVP bundle.
What?
That's the Madden plus college football
Okay.
bundle.
Monster.
9th is Elden Ring. 8 is EA Sports FC 25 soccer game. 7 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, from last year. 6 is Madden. 5 is NBA 2K25.
Okay, there we go. There it is.
Did beat football. Wow.
So it is bigger than, okay.
But there's college football ahead of
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
4 is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Never bet
Huh.
against anime.
Power of anime.
Then 3rd is Helldivers 2. 2nd is college football. And 1st is Black Ops 6.
Dragon's Dogma, compared to all those sports games, I'm really surprised. I didn't realize it sold that well.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
really, really great.
I'm very curious if that is the best-selling Dragon Ball game of all time.
Oh.
I feel like Matt has
Or
talked about that in the past, but I don't remember the details.
Yeah, that or like DBZ Fighters or Kakarot also sold, I think, pretty well. I'm not sure.
Light the red sky beacon.
Yeah, they've had a bunch that have sold very well. I'm just curious which one is the best-selling.
And then I've also got the Switch list here because it's just so different than the overall list.
The Switch list.
I don't know if you're curious about anything before I go down it.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart is 2nd place on the Switch.
What would be
Incredible.
first? Mario Wonder?
No, it was ahead of it on the regular list.
Mario Party?
Jamboree, Mario Party,
Yep,
right?
there you go. First place, Mario Party
Yeah.
Jamboree.
Okay.
Wait,
Hit.
that was only in December, right? You didn't even
No, this
list
is the full 2024
No,
list.
but Mario
In
Jamboree
December,
was
it
only
was-
ahead in December, but it wasn't on the top 20, right? But neither was
Jamboree
Mario Kart.
was
Never
like
mind,
5th in
never mind.
December.
Yeah. I was talking about the whole of 2024. Neither are on the list. No Nintendo game made it on that list.
Not on the real list. This is the Switch list.
Yeah, the Switch list.
Yeah.
But
No,
only because they
I was
only
pointing
do
out Nintendo
physical.
Nintendo was. Yeah, they were shut out this year from top 20.
Yeah. But because if they reported digital, I'm sure they would be like the whole list.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. These are only physical.
Yeah.
Curious from the last year they've been shut out even with this type of reporting because I feel like
Yeah.
they want it definitely for last year for Tears of the Kingdom. So
Why is that? Because they have to self-report to Circana on digital?
Yeah, they have to give them the numbers. They have to show the numbers. So
correction, 2 years ago now since we're in 2025. Sorry.
yeah.
Oh, right.
2023 is when Tears of the Kingdom came out, not 2024.
But yeah, 2K doesn't give digital either.
Oh.
And then some people are just not even part of the reporting system. So
And they can just get, but they can get physical from like the
yeah,
stores.
the retail partners. Yeah.
Okay.
For tracking logs. But yeah, we'll go through this Switch list. 20 is Just Dance 2024 edition. 19th, Super Mario Odyssey.
All right.
18th is Switch Sports.
Of
Wow.
course.
17th is Mario Party Superstars.
Yeah, here we go.
16th is Luigi's Mansion 2,
Oh,
the
Yeah.
new HD release. 15th is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Yeah.
Still going.
14th is Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Remember that came out?
Yeah.
That re-release.
Interesting.
13th is Sonic X Shadow Generations. 12th is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. 11 is Tears of the Kingdom.
All right.
10 is Mario and Luigi Brothership. 9 is Minecraft. 8 is Smash Brothers.
Of course.
7, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Pretty nice showing there. 6 is Princess Peach Showtime.
Oh.
5 is Hogwarts Legacy. 4 is Super Mario Brothers Wonder. 3 is the new Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. 2 is Mario Kart, and 1 is Mario Party Jamboree.
So that means that many people are buying physical Minecrafts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's kind of weird, but I think giving as a gift, like
Yeah.
it's like having a
Yeah.
physical thing to hold. So
That's a good point. That's a great point.
And then 2 other little bullet points from the active user charts, where it's basically tracking, how many people are playing a game at a given time.
Concord, how many?
Don't think that ever charted. But anyways, he has looked at crazy numbers like that sometimes when people ask him. But Marvel Rivals debuted as number 1 in the U.S. Active users on Steam.
dang.
And it was 3rd on PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
Wow.
And then Path of Exile 2
Yeah.
was 3rd on Steam monthly active users. So there we go.
Heck yeah. Path of Exile, dude.
Numbers.
Nice. Good stuff.
Also this week,
Oh.
one more number for you. Silent Hill 2
Woo!
sold 2 million copies.
2 million.
There
Two
you
for
go.
two.
Pretty good, dude. That's pretty good for
That's a win for
really
horror.
depressing horror game. Like, dang. Good job. Congrats.
PlayStation has announced that they are removing the PSN account requirement from some of their upcoming Steam games.
Hosanna,
A
dude.
small clap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small clap.
Yeah.
So you will not be required to have it for Spider-Man 2, for Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, for The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, or for God of War Ragnarok. I think 2 of those are already out. Instead,
Oh, boy.
they're offering bonuses
Oh.
if you do sign up.
Okay. So they
So-
still want your data.
They still want you to get a PSN
Your
account,
data.
but they're going to reward you instead of punish you.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, that's the
Okay.
better way to do it.
Okay.
God.
Yeah, so in addition to the trophy and friend lists, Spider-Man 2 players will get the Spider-Man 2099 black suit, as well as the Miles Morales 2099 suit. God of War will get the armor of the Black Bear, etc. for the other games. Just every example that I saw was just like, here's another skin for you to if you sign up.
Nay, pre-order bonuses.
Right. We got the nominees for the GDC Awards.
Oh yeah.
So not going to go through everything. Just the top hit list here. Game of the Year. Their nominees are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio.
Okay. The gang's all here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I always look forward to
Nice.
GDC's awards.
Yeah.
And then I'll be at the DICE Awards in 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Nice.
from tonight, exactly.
GDC does the GDC awards and the indie.
Yeah,
Like, back
it's
to
one
back?
bundled thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
IGF
yeah.
goes first, and
IGF,
then
yeah.
they just bring out a different host and do GDC.
Are we going to GDC this year?
Depends.
We should figure that out.
Just got to get those hotels.
Yeah. Somebody mail us a hotel room.
3D print it.
3D print us a hotel room in SF.
Sadly, we've got more layoff stories this week as well. Ubisoft lost about 185 people, including, it sounds like, the entire Leamington studio in the UK, as well as some people at a few other studios. And then Phoenix Labs, makers of Dauntless and Fae Farm,
Yeah.
basically their whole studio pretty much has been wiped out.
That sucks.
And yeah, it sounds like it's the ending of a couple of years of sucks. Apparently, about 2 years ago, they were acquired by a blockchain company
Ugh.
called Forte Labs. And there was just like all kinds of nonsense where they were like locking down communication and teams were having a hard time talking to each other and all kinds of other nonsense. It sounds like they probably had a hand in pushing this new monetization update to Dauntless, which also apparently concurrently wiped out a bunch of people's progress.
Oh my god.
And it sounds like they were aggressively like trying to find ways to like shove
I was
blockchain
gonna
stuff
say
into
put
the games
blockchain shit in there.
way after the fact. So yeah,
Heavens.
yeah, that definitely sucks. I definitely know people that have been into both of those games.
Yeah.
So on the brighter side, though, Midwest Games,
Hey, I'm from the Midwest.
has announced that they are offering a new quote shadow publishing services for independent developers.
Oh.
Basically giving the services that are generally offered by traditional publishing arrangements, but allowing development teams to retain ownership and revenue.
So it's sort of like a DistroKid or a Symphonic is for music, maybe.
Yeah, something
where it's
along
like,
those
hey, we'll
lines.
get you on Spotify and all that because you need a distributor.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So the program is being overseen by Elizabeth Howard, who was previously at Bungie, and some of the bullet points from their pitch: comprehensive services. This is one of the first full-service offerings worldwide that aligns strategy, production, and marketing in one vendor for those who want to enlist a full suite of capabilities. Flexibility. Unlike traditional publishing partnerships, this model provides the studio with options in scaled support, pricing, and service timelines. And, as we mentioned, retained ownership. Game owners retain their IP and full revenue while having full say over publishing decisions. So,
That's cool.
get all the stuff that you need from a publisher, but still have control over what you want done with your game.
That sounds good if there's no downside.
Yeah. We will see
Yeah.
how that works out. Shadow publishing.
Shadow publishing.
And Damiani, this impacts you. As of March 25th, the Japanese eShop on Switch will no
right.
longer accept foreign credit cards or PayPal accounts in order to, quote, prevent fraudulent use. So the only means left to purchase Japanese games digitally will be through gift cards.
I was gonna say, I didn't know you could even use regular credit cards and stuff.
Okay.
Anytime I don't even remember the last time I bought an import one through the eShop, but I just go to like Play Asia and buy
Yeah.
a
The last couple I
eShop
did was
card,
Play
and they
Asia.
just send you the digital
Yeah,
code.
they just email you the code off of it.
Just
That's
email
great.
you the code. Yeah. So it's like I've never. I was actually looking into that for something recently for a different region for something that came up and ended up not doing it. But yes,
Get your guesses in on which region, chat.
It was a game only available digitally in multilingual, so it included English version, and you had to buy it from the Hong Kong eShop.
Right.
That's your hint for what the game was.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it stinks for people who were using these methods to get in there, but if you're already giving them their payment information, you can still, I mean, I don't know how much the upcharge is on PlayAsia and other sites for their cards, but you still can do that. Like, it's not like they completely cut off access, but not also, yeah. For those who are using it, bummer, but also like, you still have a means, and like I'm not surprised they did this. I'm actually shocked they were allowing that to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seemed like a little hole that was just waiting to be plugged. It was always something with her.
You said it. Nothing.
All right. It is time for love and respect. Love and respect. From Nicolas Huertas. Hola, allies. New patron here.
Hi.
The new re-releases of Ninja Gaiden 2 and Donkey Kong Country Returns have made me wonder if this is the second or even third time fans of these franchises are buying their favorite games. Is there a franchise you'll support no matter what, or a game you love so much that you'll buy it no matter how many times it re-releases?
Oh my God, yeah.
In my case, I bought Metroid Prime a total of 5 times. Twice for GameCube, after my first copy got bitten by my then baby sister.
Classic.
Twice as part of the Prime trilogy, physical for Wii and then digital for Wii U. And finally, the Switch remaster. I hope we get to see Prime 2 and 3 again in some form before Prime 4 comes out this year. Hope to meet you this year at Gamescom. Love and respect.
Hopefully some of us are there this year. I have owned Resident Evil 4 on probably everything it's ever been on.
That was
Okay, yeah.
If not multiple times. But I've bought that game so many times. I've bought Myst so many times. Seventh Guest. Like a lot of the like Symphony of the Night. I've bought every version they've put out of it, except for the Dreamcast one because I never had that, or Saturn or whichever one it was. But RE4 is for sure my most purchased game, like easily. I think I have literally bought it with human money on every console it's ever been on, even the GameCube, which I did not have.
Oh, funny.
I didn't own a GameCube, but I borrowed my friend's GameCube and played my own copy, I think, of Resident Evil 4.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through all the versions of Resident Evil 4. I have the Switch version. I have it on PlayStation, but I don't have like a Xbox, but those are no different. I have the PS3 version, yeah. I don't have VR.
I have it in VR.
I haven't played it in VR.
I have it in VR. I think I got it on the phone.
The Wii version, obviously remake, original GameCube. So the PS2 version I don't have. And I had
that.
Yeah,
Right.
I did not. I don't think I actually played the PS2 version. So
I had played the Wii version, and that was my favorite at the time because you could aim, which I really liked.
The other one besides that, Resident Evil 4 is clearly the one I probably bought like the most different versions. Is probably Final Fantasy IV, the Super Nintendo, original Super Nintendo version. The version that was on PlayStation as part of like
I've got that.
The Origins or Anthology, whichever one it was called, that was on. I got like the GBA one. I got the DS 3D one. I got the PSP one. I got the Pixel Remaster. The Wii one with the DLC and shit before that one.
Oh boy, after years. Oh no.
Yeah, so virtual console versions. I think the only one I've never got, I'm pretty sure it was on it, was the Wonder Swan color version, I think. If it was on there, I forget if it had it on there, but I'm kind of blanking right now. The Wonder Swan used to get like those Final Fantasy games, but didn't have that one. But otherwise, like Final Fantasy 4 is probably the next one I bought the most of.
I bought Final Fantasy Tactics when it came out. Didn't beat it. And then I bought it again because I lost that copy. And then I bought it on PSP or Vita or somewhere along the line, I bought one, but it wasn't the War of the Lions version. And then I was like, oh, the War of the Lions version is better. So then I bought that on a phone, but then I got a different phone. So I bought it again
Oh my.
on a phone. Because I bought it on this phone hoping it would work with a controller, but Square is lazy and they never gave it controller support on a phone. But yeah, and I've still never beat it, even though it's one of my favorite games, because I'm just waiting for a remaster now. Like,
Nice.
I'm a sucker.
Don, what are you rebuying? I know you've got something over there.
Dark Souls also. I've bought it on literally everything.
Oh yeah, I've rebought a lot of franchises so many times, Luis. I have, like Nicholas, I have rebought Super Metroid and Metroid, a lot of Nintendo ones.
Yeah.
SimCities, I know I've rebought a lot of times, like even disc versions. I bought, like, rebuying the disc that I've lost and stuff, and then buying digital also. I know a lot of, like, Capcom collections, and Sonic the Hedgehog I probably bought in a lot of different forms, the classic Sonics, and the Sega collections in general. A lot of Mega Mans for sure. I've rebought
yeah,
over
I've got
the
a few
years
of
in
those.
different, like, either collections or individually, or like phone versions and all kinds of weird, over the classic Mega Mans, and the arcade collections, like a lot of arcade collections I've just like rebought on different versions. But the piece of media I think that I own in the most formats for sure, me or my family, is a movie. Shout out James Cameron, Terminator 2. I have
There we go.
rebought so many times. Like, we had from laser, because not just the normal one, but then the special edition from like Laserdisc, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, then the 3D Blu-ray remaster, like all digital versions. So many copies of Terminator 2. It's ridiculous. And then all special editions for all those formats too.
One Christmas, because my family, we love Muppet Christmas Carol. And like one Christmas I gave my sister Muppet Christmas Carol on Blu-ray, right? And then she was like later that night, she had gone into her media room or whatever. She came back out with 2 other Blu-rays, a DVD, and a VHS copy of Muppet Christmas Carol. She was like, I already had this, and you've given it to me 3 times on 3 different formats. And I was like, it's a good movie.
Oh, Batman Returns also. I have
Yeah,
so
there you
many versions of Batman Returns, like multiple DVDs, multiple
Oh,
everything.
for sure.
I have autographed copies. Oh, gosh.
Nice.
Ghostbusters, I know I've gotten that several times. Jurassic Park.
Oh,
I've bought
yeah.
some-
Ton of Jurassic Parks.
I have, for me, my version of my sister's scenario with Muppet Christmas Carol was Princess Bride. I have Princess Bride on every format, like multiple times. And I love that movie to pieces. So.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park collection. I have like those first 3 movies in like, all right, I don't know if I still have the VHS 3-pack, but like, yeah, DVD 3-pack, then like Blu-ray, then like 4K Blu-ray, then like, it's like each one. They all have nice packaging though, so they're worth holding on to.
There's a store in Joshua Tree, that has like kitschy, hipster shit. And Sophia, last time we were there, or 2 times ago when we were up there, over there, whatever, she bought 2 of the original unadulterated Star Warses on VHS that they had there.
Oh, that's a good catch.
But it was either New Hope and Empire or Empire and Jedi, but we couldn't remember which 2. So then the next time we went there, they had all 3, but we weren't sure which 2 we had gotten.
Oh no.
So I think we ended up with a second Empire or something like that. We guessed wrong, but yeah, because we were trying to like fill in the gap, but we guessed wrong. We couldn't remember which one. We don't own a VHS player.
Yeah. Well, I've got one, but now it's been so long since I've used it, where I'm like, okay, I need like a sacrificial tape to make sure that like
Yeah.
it'll work fine when I plug it in.
Chuck my Empire in there. I have because of one of my visual synths, I have an amazing upres thing that they like don't make anymore.
Right.
And I've been looking for a friend of mine's like documentary project.
Yeah, because it'd be nice just to digitize things.
I've been looking because it takes composite or RCA and it gives you a good upscaled HDMI out, and it looks really good. But they don't make that thing anymore. When I got it, it was like, it was like $200 too. It wasn't cheap. But yeah, I should get a VHS player and like hook that thing up. Watch these old tapes without all the dumb special effects on them.
Yeah, for me, I've got a lot of the ones you said. I'm trying to think because I think usually like I don't get too many of the re-releases because I tend to have my stuff kind of available most of the time. It's only been in recent years where things have started breaking down.
Yeah, you're really good at keeping all that stuff running. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, like I need some money to like fix my GameCube and stuff. But
Patreon.com/easyallies.
but I think like Ocarina of Time might be one that I have the most of because like I've got the original gold cart and then I've got the GameCube discs for like when they had that as like a bonus thing. I've got the Virtual Console and I've got the the thing now, the Switch Online. And that may even be one that I might have upgraded the Virtual Console from the Wii to the Wii U. So a few of those Ocarina of Times. And then one, I don't know how much, I probably haven't bought it that many times, but one that I would definitely like, if I saw it on a modern store, I would probably pick it up again, was Puzzle Fighter. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
That's on some collections too.
Yeah, I made it onto one of the fighting collections for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I realized when you were talking Dark Souls for sure. I own probably as many or more times than RE4 because I've bought it on every console it's ever been released on and PC in its original release and its Prepare to Die or whatever release. So yeah, because I have that on Switch. I have that on every PlayStation it's been on.
I didn't get that 3DS Ocarina of Time.
I've never played Ocarina of Time. I should probably play that.
Yeah. I mean, it might be hard to like get the perspective, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely still a really very good game.
I'm sure they'll remaster it eventually.
From an attack corgi. Would you rather never need sleep, never need to eat, or never get bored? Random side note, there's a Hello Kitty cafe near where I live. Never been, but I could use some encouragement to try it out and report back.
Go see if they have big challenges hanging out in there.
I would say go and we've got that the photo part of the Discord. You can dump some photos in there for like the food pics and all that.
Oh yeah. What was the thing?
Never need sleep, never need food, or never get bored.
I already never get bored.
I would say the sleep one is, my question is, can I still sleep if I want to, but I just don't have to? Like I never actually require it.
I'm sure you can.
It says never need.
But sleep is a weird thing where it's like if you don't need it, like how do you make yourself sleep? But yeah.
I would pick food. Food or sleep though.
I'm not giving it food. Yeah, definitely probably like sleep. I mean, I enjoy like stuff like lying down and stuff. So like that's what I meant. Like I just like feel like it's not like I need it or anything. I still feel like awake and everything. Yeah, I just could get so much more done if I didn't have to sleep. So yes, but definitely give that up because I could get so much more done.
That is the problem because it's like, yeah, I enjoy sleeping and I don't really care about food. So like, is it? But you'd get like 9 hours of your day back.
Yeah.
Like damn. But I mean, like, there would have to be a lot of things that go along with not needing to sleep because it's like your mind needs that time, to like reset and all that stuff. So it's like, given all of that, you get all that, automatically. Maybe I would pick sleep just to double my productivity. But my initial first reaction was food because if I didn't have to eat, that gives you like 3 hours
that's what
of the day.
Damiani's saying, right? Is it's like you can eat if you want to eat, but you're not just like wasting all your money on time with just like, all right, whatever, just some ramen here, get it out of the way.
I usually eat when my body is like, yo, dog, like you are blacking out. Like it is 3:30.
And then you could save all the money from those, boring meals where you're just like eating the same thing every time. It's like, nope, we're gonna save that up and we're gonna go out and have something fun.
I was going through my budget a while ago, and I had been spending a shocking amount of money on delivery.
Yeah.
We cook more now.
And I'm guessing delivery that like you didn't even care. It's like just want something.
Yeah,
just
I was like, shoot me over some Burger Lounge. Like for me, food, most of the time is just nutrients. Like I'm just like my body needs this to not fall apart, so I'm gonna do it. You know. But like my wife or my cooking, you know, that I like. You know, or like getting a good actual tasty meal is good.
But they never get bored though. I don't got the time for that, man. Being
Yeah.
bored would be a luxury. I'd like that.
I have a rich inner life, you know. And I'm
I got time to be
depersonalized.
bored. Something's going right.
Yeah, I'm derealized too. So like, none of this is real. So doesn't matter.
From Brandon K. Gann. Hello, everyone. This past weekend, I picked up my save file of Pokemon Heart Gold because 2 Pokemon I had to wait for, I kid you not, 70 real-world days became available to catch. And it made me want to ask, what game mechanics have you come across that leveraged real-world time for the worse?
Yeah.
So, you got to wait 70 days to catch these Pokemon.
I mean, there are... Oh, go ahead, Danny.
I mean, there's a lot of great examples. The one that comes to mind most is trying to do any of the stupid ass big game fishing in Final Fantasy XIV, which requires the in-game time, which is tied to real-world time. A real-world in-game day is not 24 hours real time, but it's like an hour or something. But there's a whole schedule in the game, and you can't pause and everything like that, and you can't advance it. So like Animal Crossing cheating, you can't do
Right.
that. So like you have to wait for a specific window, but on top of that, you have to wait for specific weather. So every time people talk about like, ooh, night and day effects and weather effects, so great. Generally they're awesome until it's this shit where it's like, fuck weather effects. Why the fuck does this exist in this game? Why can't I just change it? Because it's usually a really rare condition for a lot of them, and it's like, this sucks. So it could take like months for like potentially. This is like the an OG thing from the original version of the game. Ever since then, there is nothing like that anymore.
Yeah.
But they've just never changed that because they wanted to preserve the integrity of that achievement. And it's like to this day, people are like, but like. It's a level 50 thing. I'm level 100 with all these better skills. Like, your skills don't matter. It's
Right.
about
What
waiting.
skills have to do with that?
It's old MMO shit where you got to wait for the windows and conditions to be right. And it's like, oh my God. So that sucks.
That's magnificent. It is funny, like playing Warframe, like seeing vestiges of much older game design. Like when you come across something, you're like, oh, this sucks. Like this must be what it used to be like 10 years ago. Like, got it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Animal Crossing came to mind. I never did the like calendar jumping tricks.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
I preserved the sanctity of my island's timeline. But yeah, there were a couple of things where it's like, I missed that. Like, didn't get to do that. Wait for the New Year thing later, I guess. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I actually really appreciate it in Animal
I
Crossing,
like
but
it.
there are still times when it's like, okay, I've only been able to play this game at night for a week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a while where I hadn't seen the sun in my island for a minute.
For me, the one that I thought of, Isla, you cut the review. Need for Speed Payback.
Oh yeah.
Great cut. Go watch that review. You could only compete in races if your car is a specific level, but your level is determined by equipping a set of cards, and the cards were random in the shop. So you could actually get a shop that's all dud cards that don't help you, and then you'd have to wait for 10 minutes for the shop to refresh
Oh my
and give you a
God.
different set of cards. But there's no guarantee that set of cards would be any good either.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm going to be sitting there in a parking lot 20, 30, 40 minutes, just like, give me some good cards because I can't go to any races until I level up this car. But I need the cards to do that. Like, what the
That's a
heck?
bad mechanic.
Yeah. I think they did some patches after the review period where they fixed some of that stuff, but still just total mess.
Yeah, Warframe had they had a thing where for mastery rank tests, if you failed it, you had to wait 24 hours to try it again. They recently, with the Warframe 1999 update, took away the 24-hour thing.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
sometimes like that is definitely like part of the appeal, like with like Hitman, when they do those elusive targets.
Oh yeah, if you screw
like-
it up, they're gone.
You gotta one-shot this.
Yeah.
It's only available for a week. So, yeah.
What was the game? Wasn't it like an early Kojima game or something where you needed to charge the game with the actual sun?
Yeah, that's Boktai. It's
Boktai.
not that early either. That was GBA.
Okay, yeah. That's sort of time dependent. Like you need the sun
Oh, yeah.
sometimes
absolutely.
to play the game. Yeah.
By the way, did you know that Easy Allies patrons get 2 bonus love and respect questions right here, right now, in this space? If you want to get in on that extended cut, become a $5 patron at patreon.com/easyallies. Along with that $5 tier, you get that extended cut along with 2 days early access. You get it ad-free. You get to submit the questions to Love and Respect. And you get in our official Discord where you can see those Hello Kitty photos whenever he brings them. When those photos show up, you'll get to see them. And you also get to vote on top 10s and all that stuff. We need your support to keep this show running each and every week. So if you're listening and investing your time, also consider investing a little bit of cash to pay the bills. Again, that's patreon.com/easyallies. And if you really want to help out, you can join one of our producer tiers, and our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. This month's shout outs go to Javawebs and L. Thanis. Shout out. It is time for bets. This week's bet. Roll this footage so people know what we're seeing. Don, While Waiting is out next week, February 5th. This is a game where you're stuck in various scenarios, like waiting for the bus, waiting for your clothes to dry, waiting for your food to come, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you have to find things to do to pass the time. But the time will pass. So I want to know how long it will be from the first moment that you can take control of your character until the first scenario passes without making any inputs during that time. Just sitting there and waiting. Damiani, you're up first. The arrogant child. How much time?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Isla, whimsical scum.
9 minutes and 12 seconds.
9:12.
Going for the high.
Good long scenario to get people in the groove, feel it
Yeah.
out. Nice. Don, punished Castellanos.
You got to push the mic button.
I went with a quickie also, 35 seconds.
35
Only
seconds.
the first one after all, right?
I'm hoping the first one is like teaches you the point of the game by making it absurdly long. That's my hope.
Yeah. Gabby, Strange Valentine. 10 minutes.
Damn it, Gabby.
And then myself, the Wicked Worm, I went with 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
God, he got right in the middle. He did it again.
Where's
He
that
hosed
coin?
us.
We need that coin.
Yeah, where's Huber?
That's Huber's
Receiver.
I hope Huber doesn't lose that coin.
Yeah, what if he
Tables.
wagered it?
I've got it. I've got it here. It's here.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
Good thing that you kept your hands on it, because he would have lost.
It's Huber's coin, but blood holds it.
Yeah.
It's like
That-
I'm not holding it either. It's here. It's just here.
coin.
That
It's
summarizes
in the
all of Easy Allies.
The coin has no king.
It's in the
It's
EZA
no king.
safe and sound.
Last week's bet, Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter, came out last week. Came out this week, the 28th. How many times on the top 10 open critic reviews would Dark Souls be mentioned? Oh yeah, this was fun. Damiani bet 2 times. I bet 2 times. Isla bet 4 times. Dawn bet 1 time.
Oh.
Gabby also bet 4 times. And Hubert bet 5 times. I'm not even going to read through these individually because the suspense will not make sense. Out of 10, there was 1. There were plenty of Souls-like, Souls-ish, all this stuff. 5 to 7 per some reviews, but Dark Souls one time from Dual Shockers. So Dawn wins that bet.
Bullseye, dude.
Off to a good start.
And now, it's time to debut everyone's sounds.
Oh no.
Dawn, 1 point for the punished Castellanos.
Okay, I have to debut my sound for.
I warned them multiple times this
He
week.
did warn us multiple
You'll
times.
see, I'm well prepared.
He warned us
I'm well
multiple times.
prepared. I just don't want to mess it up. This is my most complex sound yet. Here we go. Punish Castellanos. Dispatch. Oh no, I'm punished. Dispatch. Me amo Castellanos. Estoy planeando del muerte de todos.
0 for Damiani, the arrogant child.
Mortal Kombat on Sega Genesis is the best video game ever. Donkey Kong sucks.
That was such a good sound.
Specific era of arrogant child.
0 for Isla, the whimsical scum.
God, those are so good. Those are hard to top. I was just thinking like like something like that.
It's good.
But now I didn't know we were doing full sentences.
Well, that's what they did.
I could go like, no, Mr. Huber, I expect you to die.
That's whimsical?
Yeah.
Okay. 0 for Gabby, strange Valentine.
She's incoming.
Okay.
I was like, is she gonna sing Funny Valentine? What's she gonna do? But she did some pops.
And 0 for myself, the wicked worm.
It's short.
Short and sweet.
And we'll find out what the Fancy Stars member has for us next week. Check out our Game of the Year videos.
Yeah.
We've got our nice and trim cut down that Isla did with everybody's scripts and music and footage and all that good stuff. Just like 12, 13 minutes long, something like that.
Yeah, about that. A great off-the-cuff reaction from Jones that I left in there. That
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was so
pretty
fun.
funny.
It's good stuff. Always love putting that video together because everybody's involved one
Yeah.
way or another. Yep.
It's really fun to have everyone write something and get Jones to voice it and get to have fun with editing and trolling everyone with a fake winner. I was less mean this year with the troll than previous years.
Yeah, but it's so perfect.
The God of War troll might have been the worst.
And then there's also, aside from that, that's good if you just want to find out what we did, share it with people, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But our full deliberations are also there. That's almost 3 hours long. And then our personal picks stream, which has all of the categories, the types of categories and stuff that we did in past years. We don't pick a winner in each one. We just give everybody's personal picks. That was over 4.5 hours long.
Yeah.
So lots there to catch up on. And if you go to our Patreon, we have free versions, audio versions there of those as well, if that's easier for you to just listen to in the background. We also, this week, we debuted some stream highlights.
Yeah.
Not a show, not a named branded thing, but we're going to be doing these more often, where we'll have Gabby cut down a group stream, or this time it was a different stream. It was Star Wars Jedi Power Battles, and just get some fun times, some fun moments out of that.
But yeah, typically they'll be you can, in theory, expect one every week.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. This week we didn't have a group stream, so
Wouldn't make sense this
wouldn't
week.
make sense
but
for
yeah.
this week. But yeah.
But we got the Jedi Power Battle one out, so that's
yeah. So thank you for doing that, Gabby.
Yeah.
And now Dawn, you won that bet.
Oh boy.
So you get to shout out anything or anyone that's on your mind this week. You get the final word, and you get to sign off with your trademark. Sign off.
Alrighty. Final word. I can't think of one. Anybody have a final word? Think about it. Maybe someone can chime in with a final word here in a second. Okay, I can toss to someone with a final word. I don't know.
Talked about BioWare. We talked about Xbox. We talked about sales. Talked about Hello Kitty. Anything sparking there?
Sparking zero.
I looked through. I couldn't think of anything to have a final word on. But shout out. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Keep on rolling, Eagles. Look at us. Look at us. The Easy Allies' favorite team. The whole world's favorite team.
Our favorite team.
The
Okay.
entire planet has
Is that
got
football?
behind the Philadelphia Eagles, National Football League. In fact, Isla, yes, everyone wants a big win. Justice is still possible, and the Eagles are going to prove it. Correct, Damiani? Let's see if Damiani agrees.
Oh, am I allowed to answer? Yes.
Final word. Final word,
shout out or
Damiani?
final word?
Wait,
This is a
final
shout
word,
out.
Damiani.
Oh, this is the shout out. Sorry. That
Was the shout out, but I'm tossing to you for the final word on the Eagles. Can they win it? Can they avenge the injustices that the Roger Goodell criminal network has wrought
NFL
upon
has
this earth?
a way of if things come back to bite them in the ass. Those who don't, necessarily play by the rules, and it happened once before when a certain Eli Manning derailed a certain Tom Brady going for perfection.
Hold on. Well, okay, I'm cutting off the final word. Totally unacceptable. What Damiani meant to say. But the Eagles are about to derail Mahomes and company from achieving history, from getting the first three-peat. That you didn't let me finish, Don. What Damiani meant to say on that first part was when Nick Foles derailed Tom Brady, not the Manning thing, for crying out loud.
Wait, who did Eli beat then when they stopped the perfect season? It wasn't Tom Brady in the regular season?
We're talking about Super Bowl 52, the greatest Super Bowl ever played in the history of
the whole conversation I cannot participate in.
I don't know.
Thank you, Don,
My
for
final
that
word is
beautiful
cut to yourself
correction.
when you're
Thank you
talking.
as well, Damiani.
Sorry, I just wanted to share optimism and hope for you.
And what is it? The sign off?
Sign off.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Let's take this thing all the way to the top. Booyah! We know we can do it. We know we can do it. Everyone wants it. All right. Have fun, everybody. Be safe. Oh, thank you. That's nice, too.
You're not a strike team. You're not infiltrating an enemy base.
The Easy Allies would like to thank our Patreon podcast producers. We apologize in advance for all the ally names we are about to misspell and mispronounce. Jabawabs, L. Thanis, Jay Shee, Jesper Popmel Dufay, Roy Sung. 44 Stars, Alexander Zirianov, Andri, Beaten Down Brian, Brandon White, Brian Kruger, Colton Pichone, Daniel Martinek, Douglas Chomich, Faraz Rizvi, Garrett Holfish, G. Levin, Hayden Hargraves, Jesse Blue, Jesus R., Matthew Pauling, Miguel Rivas, Mo Grant, Paul Sway, Ronka Q, Robert Stoffel, Sam Handrick, Stomps, Stepan Hakobian, The Banana Forklift Killer, Chum Nguyen, Zigazich, Anish Dor, Aaron Haney, Accounts Payable, Adam Henry, Alex Monaco, Anacroft, Anthony F., Anthrioni, Arthur Lau, Osteal, Barry Tomasini, Brian Foster, Bunny Chen, C.S. Lewis, Katie Garza, Carlos Delgato, Chief Uhu, Chris Eccles, Christopher Santis, Clay Roberts, Colin Montoot, Connell Sumlin, Corey Jackson, Corey Landega, Crumb Eyes, Culinary Stud, Cyberboa, Derry, Dan Sebring, Daniel Kozlowski, Daniel Wong, David Aniki, Dimitri Zetas, Enya Hink, Eric Tobias, Espen Gotchman, Ethereal Ether, Forever Ender, Forrest, Frogshirt, Project, Gabriel Smith, Jen Woofles, Gino Elite, Gustav Strombaum, Harrison Holt, Isun Chor, Ian Anderson, Jack Forrest, Gerald, Jesse Fish, Jesse Wilkeson, John McCullough, John Prey, Junya Motomura, Carl Williams, Keegan Boyle, Kevin Gillet, Kroldemort, Leon Eyes, Luis Ibarra, Lying Crown 19, Marco Hernandez, Materia Addict, Matthias Clare, Max Miller, Miguel, Nefertiti Jenkins, Nycrypt, Nick Hill Sharma, Ninja Kitty Meow, Ono Turtle, Oru Gachino, Pablo Rodriguez, Hanamuse, Patrick Held, Pixelated, Pulphead, Ray Aldiar, Raymond Wheeler III, Reed Johnson, Richard Ma, Ritz 1906, Robert Seven Lee, Robin, Ryan Rudger, Sage Mode Q, Salvers, Samuel Copeland, SD Prima, Sebastian T, Servino, Sean Johnstone, Cito, Sneaky Gato, Strikeout NZ, Sultab, Tadashi 047, Taffy 9K, Tim Strothman, This Is My Username 1466, Tomovi Kioni, Travis Ing, Trizak, Wouter DeHaze, Yami Zetsumi.